I'm going to put a fat bloke up for driver of the day. 16 votes.
For fat
16
bloke.
votes went in, right? 15 to fat bloke,
yes!
1 for old sim racer.
I love that. I love that.
What was it he said? He actually said why he fucking missed it. Oh, that was it. He said, I saw Ramsell go in the pits, so I thought I'd do another lap, then go in, and then realised after the first chicane he didn't have enough time to get around.
Fucking brilliant.
Fucking genius, right?
And what was it, your line, Dan, that I've read? Because obviously I don't listen to it, and I've read, apparently Pat loved Dan's line of going, he's
clearly not loving it. Yeah. The old McDonald's line, I'm loving it. He's not loving it. Oh, it was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I fucking loved it. And then at the end, I was like, oh, the only thing to make him happy now is to buy him a Happy Meal. That's why you see in the chat, everyone's fucking posting Happy Meals.
Brilliant. Is that why DJ Phil are even doing it?
Oh, fucking DJ Phil was just going over the fucking top at that point. Yeah.
Oh. Right,
he jumped on the bandwagon.
Oh, I'm going to set up our chat and in case everyone dives in this fucker.
Yeah. We'll be in there.
No worries. Alright, best of luck.
Daz, do you actually get the invite?
I'll sort the server out when we're done.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Matthew.
Philip. Oh, trick-or-treating, man.
Yeah, I got back in time.
Everything go okay?
As far as we know, he's got to have a go down again on the 18th of November.
What's that for? Another checkup?
Consultation.
Yeah.
I've got to go in on the 9th of December.
What for?
Checking how I'm getting on, I think.
Alright. With the stroke, I assume, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my stroke. Because it's on the stroke unit.
Mm.
I can't see who's confirmed anymore.
Well, Overtaker didn't. Neither did Diz, and neither did the Crasher. I can tell you that.
The only one I can see is the endurance.
So, the Crashing. So Overtaker, qualifying ban at
Snap.
Snap.
Oh shit. I did fire mine up in case.
Yeah, no, I was going to be back, it was just... I didn't sleep till about 4:30.
Welcome to my world.
Like, she was sound asleep, but... I just couldn't... Just in case something was still wrong, I just couldn't switch off.
Yeah. Right, I'll shut my end off.
No.
But, you know, I could probably do it on Tuesday.
Well, I'm trying to find someone as well for Tuesday. Right, babe. You look beautiful tonight, by the way, in that dress. What did I say? I said you look great. Maybe? I said you look great. Could I have a hot chocolate? Because all I've drank today is a latte. One. Yeah, I've got no pop. We've got all that juice, haven't we? Just try and share the stream around a second.
Yeah.
No. I did have my red one, but I think I took it out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why do we have to go back to the pits? I've got bloody put the cameras back. I've found a way to do it on a controller.
You're going to the replay.
No,
Oh.
I've mapped the buttons.
Oh, can you do
So
it?
I can't. I've got a separate button map for broadcast. So I just remap the buttons. Can't drive with it.
Does it
won't
do it?
work
'Cause I
for
remember with
driving.
PS4, it wouldn't change the camera angle with it.
No, because if you look, I'm pressing. Oh wait, you can't because I'm not live. But I was pressing R1 and swapping between the camera 1, camera 2, and helicopter. And L1 is for the on board.
Is that without pressing drive?
Yeah.
Might be telling Dan that.
Well, you will be. But you do have to have a separate button map saved.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If he saves like a pad button map,
Yeah.
because the cameras around here are shit at times.
Number 2's better. Cameras 2's are better. And obviously helicopter cam.
Alright, let's pick up my stream. Ferrari's not looking great.
Well, apart from Skunky in third.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, but down to Daz is only a second.
Exactly.
So, I can't really say that they're not looking great.
It's not bad as people think, is it?
Right. We're going to go live in fact, we'll get a couple more seconds. I'll share some more streams.
Yeah, I'll just have a swig of drink.
Yeah. Okay. 5, 4. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport. Here for your daily dose, or weekly dose, of pro action. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin, joined tonight by Phil Raiden, and it is great to be back in the comms box tonight. Obviously, missed last night, but Dan did a cracking job, by what I'm led to believe. He did an absolutely great job in them pro-am commentaries. But I'm joined tonight by Phil, as we always are on a Thursday evening. We're at the Temple of Speed. It is Monza. It is time to get down nearly, because next week is the halfway stage of the season, and that is really where things are going to start to take shape in this back half of the year.
Yeah, hello, Matt. Amazed I made it, to be honest, to be in the comms box tonight. Personal reasons, don't ask. I love Monza. What a circuit. It's two kind of drivers for Monza. Brave or stupid? You'll find out in turn 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially Pro-Am last night.
Well, I haven't actually watched it, so I've only seen, or heard bits that's happened on the Discord. I've not actually seen anything yet. I did see the results. Playerman with a second place, Luke Saunders with a win, Monkey Boy with a third in race 1, so it looks like it's going to be an interesting watch back. I'm going to try and watch that tomorrow night, or tomorrow daytime, should I say, as we go through in towards the weekend. But it's nearly that magical halfway stage of the season for all three of our championships here, Phil. And 6 weeks, where have they gone?
Yeah, where have they gone? Last season, GT4s were only for 6 weeks, weren't they? So, but we've got them for a full season because nobody seems to want to do GT2s. I don't know why.
Yeah, which is a shame. Temple of Speed, then. We know how historic Monza can be. But it's a love or hate circuit, isn't it, really? Because drivers are, it's one of them that drivers either love Monza, love the history behind it, and love what Monza is, or they tend to not really enjoy Monza, but enjoy the history.
Yeah, can we have a version where we use the banking as well? I know we can do it on Project Cars 2 and 3. That's not, and the original set, of course, so we could run the banking. That'd be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, for me, it's a great circuit. Maybe
yeah, I don't mind it. I enjoy the history of it, and then I don't mind, the rest of it in terms of other things. Speaking of Ferrari that you've just mentioned there, Phil, they're not looking great out there tonight.
They're not looking great, but Skunky in third says otherwise. And to be fair, down to Daz, it's a second off for top 14. That just shows how competitive Pro is.
Yeah, well, it's a second to Paolo in the top 15. So, it really is a pretty tight qualifying session here. It's going to be an interesting qualifying session. It's going to be an interesting race. Sorry, I say qualifying session. I mean practice session. It's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be an interesting quali too. Things we're looking forward to though in this one is for me really that hour-long race could be crucial tonight. It could really be crucial.
It could be because it's quite warm for death of October. Yeah. We are the last day of October. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Oh yeah, indeed. Actually, that's a good point. Happy Halloween. I've just got back from trick-or-treating myself, and yeah, what are we? 28 degrees track temperature, and that's only going to get warmer because obviously we move into the 1 o'clock stage in a couple of moments' time when we get the next part of qualifying up. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be. Well, we know Dan will be starting at the back, but that Lexus has phenomenal straight line speed. Where are we? Oh yeah, Monza, where it's straights with a few twiddly bits to join them up.
Well, I said in an interview to Dan the other day, I said that I feel that the Merc is going to do what the Lexus will do tonight. It seemed to be, like it was really on it when you hit that 6th gear. The one driver missing at the moment is that of Gary Leach, not yet in the session, so hopefully he gets himself in time for the race. But as always, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we are 2 subscribers away from the magic 800. So really, guys, get that. Get your family, friends, get whoever watching, get them to hit that subscribe button. Good evening to Gary Clarble in the chat, as well as Tony Bates, Fury's granddad. Chirpo Lippo is in the chat. Good evening to yourself, Robert Ramsell. Let's go. He says Chris is there as well as Rob Smith. Robert Smith as well is in there, as well as Peaceful Explosion and Edward Blackmore in the chat. Let's read a few of these comments out. Actually, what we've got. Good evening, good luck all. Freaky Bob Widward. Yep. Let's go, says Robert Ramsell. Evening all. Let's go, pros. Good luck, Team FBR. Live fat, says Robert
I think
Smith.
it's going to be live fat.
Yeah. Don't forget to pit, says Rob Smith. I presume that's after Fat Bloke I heard didn't pit last night. And Ed Blackmore can't say he's a fan of this circuit. Well, he's not doing bad. Currently in P11 in that McLaren. We're currently watching that of Matt Wright as we can jump on board with Matt Wright for a lap of this Temple of Speed circuit. So he's down in 17th place. He's 1.5 seconds off. Braking around the 150 metre board just after. Getting into turn 1. Clip the apex. Don't be too greedy on the curbs, though. The sausage curbs will unsettle the car and make it unstable. Rides all the curbs. Stays tight at left. He doesn't go out too wide. We saw Skunky in 2 snipes. Going right out to the edge of the circuit. Bringing it back in. Keeps it tight around the Curva Grande. He comes in towards the second chicane. We say a good evening to Tracy, who says happy Halloween and happy racing. Brake again just before the 100 metre board. Down a couple of gears. Use all that curb. Watch for the 2 sausage curbs again. Try and use the runoff. Not be too greedy on the exit. Easy to dip a wheel into the gravel on the outside. You come into the first of the Lesmos and down a gear you hear there. Just clips the apex. Watch for the barrier there. Don't get too greedy. Sticks out a little bit. Use that runoff on the outside again here. Use that inside curb, the flat bit, not the bulky bit. Use all the runoff you can. And then you have a great run out to Lesmo 2 all the way down to one of the more famous chicanes then of Ascari here at Monza. Obviously what would be the second DRS zone in the Formula 1. Pick up your braking zone, a little bit of tarmac on that right hand side. You hit the brakes, get a lot of curve through the first part of Ascari. Slide through the first bit, that unstables in for the second part. Don't be too greedy with the third, and again watch that exit. You could easily drop a wheel or two into that gravel. That's going to cost you momentum down the back straight as you come in towards the Parabolica. And still one of my favourite SimPlay moments of the Parabolica is when Gary and AH of Season 1 of Project Cars, if you haven't watched it, go back on the playlist, take a look. Gary and AH side by side in the wet, last lap. Gary won it at the line. Out the Parabolica then. Keep it to that right hand side, especially in qualifying. You want to set a fast lap. Did Matt Wright improve? He did not. But either way, that is a decent bit of pace. 1.5 seconds separates that top 16. And still, I'm noticing no Gary Leach on the grid, which is leaving a gap at the moment.
It's leaving a gap. I remember he timed it to perfection last week, didn't he?
Now, where is that gap? It's there, just ahead, or alongside Paolo, is the gap. So if we go on camera 1, obviously it's looking back from the grid. Camera 2 is looking a bit more up, but we're going for the helicopter shot.
You
Phil,
can actually hear the helicopter.
You can. Who's going to win this first race? Because we saw race 1 last night, or you the viewer saw. I've seen the results.
To be honest, I reckon Eckholt, because he's starting P4,
Yeah.
and he was fastest in practice.
Well,
So
let's take a look. Yeah. Fastest in practice compared to that chicane, though.
yeah, survive that chicane first, because you can't win the race in turn 1 on lap 1, but you can lose it.
Just
You
setting
can
the
really lose it.
pole up now.
And Gary's not got in.
There's still time at the moment, but he will be starting then from that mid-pack on the grid, it looks like at the moment. Let me just check the list, see if he's actually online. He's online, he's on the game, so Gary could be starting from the pit lane here. T1 is the real winner. Couldn't agree more than that, says Robert Ramsell. So yes, the magical 2 number away from the subscribers. Old Sim Racer, evening all. Have a great evening like we did last night. Well, it sounds like I missed an absolute cracker last night. But it's good to be back. Obviously, emergency pulled me away literally 5 minutes. Literally as we was about to press go live, the emergency pulled me away. So I will go back and watch it tomorrow daytime whilst going through some stew with him. But it's going to be a cracking night. Tuesday was a cracking night. Tonight's going to be a cracking night. Lando Norris. Of course you can win it on the first turn.
No.
Not here, you can't. You can go from 0 to hero at turn 1.
Well,
Or from hero to 0, should I say.
didn't win it in turn 1 here, Villa, this year, did he?
No, he didn't. It's actually cost
Leclerc
him.
pulled a blinder. Charles Leclerc, the chair, he
Yep, he won
did
the
a
race.
blinder.
Piastri second. Has Gary got in? No, he hasn't yet.
No,
Not sure what is happening there with Gary, but he is not in the lobby.
Yeah, so it's Ferrari, McLaren, Beamer. Oh, Clouden. Outside chance of Clouden. If he
The
can
Merc's
survive
good here.
turn 1.
The Merc's strong here.
If you can survive turn 1. You've got to survive turn 1.
Now, believe it or not, me and Dan Davis did a 4-hour endurance race here a year ago. I say a year ago, roughly a year ago. The Honda NSX went around here, and they used BOP and all sorts. We was in the BMW M4. We didn't have the best races. We got hit a few times, but yeah. What was the fastest time in qualifying? They've not qualified yet, Lando, so we'll be able to tell you that in a moment. Peaceful Step Dad, good evening to yourself. And Luan Rodriguez, hey, I'm new here. Can you tell me with where they go from practice to the race and how the positions are sorted out? So the positions, Luan, are sorted in reverse championship order. So the championship tables that get released on social media or on our Discord are what we see in front of us. So obviously I haven't actually read through them yet, and in fact what I will do is, while we're on about that, is I will go through the grid order now for you all, because I've realised I've not done that one yet either. But yeah, it is reverse championship order. So it's Monza round 9 of week 5 of the season. It's Giggle on pole from Rasmussen. It is then Blackmore on pole from Michael Eckholt. Paolo will be alongside Pedro Viana. No, it will be alongside Gary Leach, but Pedro Viana now bumped up one spot from Darren Yo. Jamal Clouden and Sky Schundelmeyer are together on the circuit. Obviously, every driver's been bumped up one now. Matt Wright from Mike Matthews, 2 Ferraris alongside each other. Then it will be that of Ian McGowan and Tim Ventink. Then it's Ben and Max Mulder alongside. Witchop alongside each other. For some reason, it's saying Max Mulder on this timer screens. Michael Harris from Skunky and O'Reilly, and bringing up the rear will be that of Dan Davis. But yeah, it is done with the reverse championship order. So Dan Davis is the championship leader. He starts from last place in qualifying. For race 1, race 2 they qualify fully. There we go. Race 1 is reverse championship standings. Any other questions you've got, just put it in the chat and me and Phil will try and answer them as the night goes on. But they round the Parabolica, Phil, for the first time this evening. Who are you going for? You're going for Eccles. I'm going to give an outside shout to Jamal Clouden. The championship is on SimGrid yet. We can also post a Discord link in the chat for you as well. But as we come down towards the start line, Ferrari lock out the front row. You can?
No, I can't. I've had mod removed.
You can still share links on the channel. It's Ferrari on the front row, and it's green and go here for the start of the race, and it's a pretty even start actually from both Ferraris here. It is Rasmussen alongside Giggle in that pole position in the pink Ferrari, and he's coming towards the outside. It's now squeezing. Look at the run Michael Eckholt gets with the slipstream as they all filter down in towards turn 1. Are they all through cleanly? No. Chaos in the background. That's Mike Matthews' Ferrari. It looks like Ben's been caught up in the drama as they all take avoiding action. It looks like Ian McGowan as well. Now there's another car being tapped around, but it's Rasmussen who takes the lead, fill out the first chicane from Giggle. Blackmore ahead of Eckholt. Then it is Paolo. And look at Darren Yeo going up the inside of Jamal Clouden, coming through the curve of Grande. And here he comes in towards the second heavy braking zone of the second chicane. You can get around the outside here. Darren Yeo trying to squeeze Jamal around the outside. Needs a space up for the inside. Clouden turns in a little bit, just bounces off Daz. That's going to allow Sky Schundelmeyer through as they come towards the first Lesmo as well. So a great start for Darren Yeo. Matt Wright now sends one up the inside of the first Lesmos. Just gets enough room left by Clouden, who I think got caught by surprise here. Wright still has a nose in. Later on the brakes into the second Lesmo. Yes, he is. Clouden right around the outside. Holds on to that position for now, though. And he does well. But on board with Dan Davis, we're hearing that the Lexus is quick around here. He's on the back of his teammate Mike Matthews. He pulls to the outside now as they come towards Ascari. Down they come. Dan Davis, he's up the inside. He's round the outside. He's past Mike Matthews. And that's a lovely job done.
Well, we had the usual Monza chaos going into turn 1 again. So, oh, Dan's around! He kept the cap on the outside of Ascari. Then he hit the wall.
So Dan Davis losing it all on his own there, Phil, and he's dropped down to the back of towards the back of the pack. In fact, he has. Ball one car dropped to last place. Darren Yeo's got Sky Schundelmeyer going right around the outside of him at the Parabolica. Jamal Clouden might fancy a bit of this as well. And Schundelmeyer right around the outside. And here comes Clouden to try and tackle that Mercedes grunt down the straight. The Merc was quick in GT4s. Darren Yeo's coming back at Schundelmeyer. Clouden's going to make this 3 wide. 3 into 1 does not work, especially at Monza. Daz has to pull in front of Sky. Opens that corner up, and Sky loses out to Clouden as a result of that as well. This is great racing from the 3 of them, but Rasmussen and Giggle out front, they've checked out early doors.
Yeah, we're about second up the road from everybody else. Make hay when the sun shines, so I believe that's the saying. I don't know, I'm confused.
Jamal Clouden having a look back down at Darren Yeo in towards the second chicane. Can't do anything down there though. The pit window opens in a few moments times as well. So yeah, this is interesting. I don't understand why a driver is not punished for a start out of his position. They will be punished. So if they are out of position at the start, they will be punished by the game. The game will automatically give them a drive-through penalty. Going back though to Dan Davis, he's down the order. What damage does he have? He's 19th place at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see what Dan Davis can do from here. Back towards the front though, Paolo's trying to stick with Vienna, but it's back to Darren Yeo because Clouden defending from Sky but attacking Daz. That's brought Max Mulder into play here with Matt Wright and Harris and O'Reilly possibly fancying a chance as well. And through Ascari chicane they come now. Max Mulder gets it nicely through. In fact, got a good run because he's looking on the back of his teammate. Daz stays that inside line. Clouden's going to have to go to the outside and have a look as we see coming down the back straight in towards the Parabolica. Who's the last of the late breakers? Clouden goes around the outside for the early part of the final corner. Daz lost out to Schundelmeyer around here. Clouden well out wide. That'll be over the track limits. That'll possibly be a warning or at least a no time gained. I'm sure the game will warn him for that one though. Darren Yeo, no slipstream from the Porsche in front. And here we go. Daz now struggling with that of Clouden. He's going to have to be the better of the late breakers down into turn 1. Schundelmeyer fancies this to be 3 wide. Max Mulder sat in the best position. Daz looking up the inside of Clouden. Can't do so. Max tried to squeeze in the middle. No good there. I think Daz got a tap up the rear. Sky bounces all over the curbs. That's going to allow Max Mulder through.
Yeah, I think Max gave Sky a little shove then. So BSP imploding again. Meanwhile, Rasmussen's about 1.5 seconds up the road, and Giggles are another 1.5 seconds in front of Eckholt.
Yeah, and Eckholt's just got himself ahead then off Blackmore. So Darren Yeo's trying to, in fact, he's lost out to Max Mulder now. So Max Mulder's got past on Darren Yeo. Darren Yeo seems to be a bit of a train in the road at the moment. Sky Schundelmeyer's going to look up the inside, can't do anything about it. Harris has got past that of Matt Wright. The pit window opens, I believe, is it the 15-minute mark it opens. So Ben has 30 seconds plus worth of damage. So Ben will probably be straight into the pits here in this race. Ben is down in 17th place. Tim Venting's down in 19th. Here we go then, down the back straight once more. Let's look on the back of Matt Wright at the moment, though. The pit window opens now. Here comes O'Reilly in his Aston Martin. Schundelmeyer having a look, but side by side is O'Reilly and Matt Wright in towards the Ascari chicane. Room given. Wright breaks a bit earlier and O'Reilly travels round the outside. Good move.
Yep, very good move by the Aston Martin driver. Does Rasmussen do a nice early pit stop? And this pit lane is tricky because you're going from quite quick to nothing.
You've got to really slow it down, haven't you? Mike Matthews here is being the trolley train at the moment. He's got Ben, he's got Dan, he's got Skunky, he's got Tim Venting. Ian McGowan's nearly on the back of him as Ben goes right around the outside of Mike Matthews. That is a lovely move. Max Mulder pits. I assume we're going to see Ben and Mike Matthews dive into the pit lane early. Ben is actually going to stay out. It's that 30 seconds plus damage. Not hurting him too bad at the moment. Dan Davis now going to stay out as well. But Max Mulder, Michael Harris, Sky Schundelmeyer, Kieran O'Reilly, Darren Yeo and Mike Matthews all into the pit lane. So what happened to Darren Yeo there actually, Phil? Because he's dropped down the order a little bit. I know he's dropped down because obviously cars got past him, but he was ahead of Harris, he was ahead of Schundelmeyer, and I believe he was ahead of O'Reilly. O'Reilly stops done.
Yeah, I think it might be the Harris Lexus straight line speed there came in handy. Slowing. Yeah. Harris has jumped Max.
Yeah, so they've come out the pits at the same time. So let's just drop down to them. There's
They're
Max
still
Mulder.
inside each other.
They are inside each other. So that's how much he's jumped him. The fact that Max was that close coming out. Everybody's done. Oh, Max now teleports through Harris.
Teleports through him.
Now,
yeah.
Well, that's an interesting one because they've obviously came out off the limiter while they was inside each other, but Max gets the job done and is now in front of Michael Harris. Schundelmeyer got jumped by O'Reilly. Darren Yeo really down the order. And Mike Matthews, who didn't repair his damage but got his stop done. So the two early pit runners, Michael Harris and Max Mulder, look at that Lexus through the Curva Grande down towards the second chicane. Maxo can be later on the brakes. That Ferrari's really good on its brakes.
Yeah, the Ferrari's a bit like the Ginetta and GT4.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Around here. It doesn't have a straight line speed, but it could stop on a 6-months.
Now Blackmore's round in the final corner. He's got Pedro Viana right up his trumpet at the moment as they come through. And down to start yet another lap. None of the top drivers pitting at this moment in time. As I say that, Jamal Clouden comes right into the pit lane. What about Matt Wright? He carries on his way. Wittrup, who's got a qualifying ban for race 2, is carrying, as is Ben. And Dan Davis also. Skunky in, Tim Venting in, as is McGowan. Back to that fight between Harris and then that of Max Mulder. Let's go on board with Michael Harris. Let's see the pace of this Lexus out the Parabolica and down the start straight. Because from what we're told, Phil, it looks or sounds a quick car.
Yeah, there's this looking random question.
Yes, I believe they do. I will speak with Darren Yeo, I believe has got one, and I will just I'll find out where he got his from and send you the link, Chris, or I'll send Ben the link on Discord, if possible. Here we go though, Phil. Harris on the back of Max Mulder. Let's see that pace of the Lexus. It's in sixth gear. Look at it pulling. He pulls out now. He's now getting alongside. O'Reilly's coming with them. The straight just runs out and Max Mulder manages to hang on in there.
Yeah, but O'Reilly was keeping with the faster Lexus in the straight line because he's punching a nice big hole in the air.
He is indeed. Lando Norris is asking what the fastest lap is. I'll let you check that one, Phil, by Julius Rasmussen at the moment. As to not bring it up onto our screen. Vienna still on the back of Blackmore at the moment.
147.7.
There you go, 147.7. Lando is the fastest lap at the moment. Ben is on the back of Wittrup. Dan Davis not able to get close. I wonder if that damage on Dan's car is just hurting him a little bit.
Possibly, yeah. As he's still behind Ben and the front of McGowan.
I'll send it you then, Chris, on Instagram, no problem.
Right. Rasmussen Giggles in, so is Vienna.
Yeah, and also, Phil, just looking, Max Mulder's lost out to Harris and O'Reilly now.
Yeah, so O'Reilly's put the magnets on the back of a Lexus, using that Lexus superior straight line speed. Trying
to pull himself along then. So 3 more cars, Ben and McGowan into the pit lane. Saddle release. Dan Davis, Michael Harris having a wiggle through the chicane then. So it is Julius Rasmussen who leads away from Michael Eckhout. Rasmussen had a great debut last week at Laguna Seca as well, didn't he? So carrying on that good form. Michael Eckhout second place from Blackmore, but obviously Giggles pitted. Paolo is third. Giggle's still in the pits. Matt Wright is now up to a net 4th place with Wittrup and Dan Davis staying out as well. Giggle comes out the pits. There he is. And I believe in the background then is that of... We see as they cross the line, it's not... it might be Pedro Viana, but Cloudon's gone through. Where's Harris? Harris has lost out to Max and to O'Reilly, and he's under pressure from Tibbs.
He had a wiggle, and then it just seemed didn't have any straight line speed.
Interesting. Very interesting. So the track temp's up to 30 degrees as well, but he's now lost out. 664 McGowan. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse. Drive-through penalty for him in this race. But I tell you what, Phil, for Cloudon, he's jumped a few cars. So, though, has Kieran O'Reilly. He's jumped quite a few in the pits. Here goes Vienna, side by side with Mulder. In towards the second chicane. Vienna yields that time, and Max Mulder goes through.
Yeah, it's just Harris seems a lost pace because Sky's now having a look at him going into the Lesmo.
Yeah, he is indeed. The S. Lando Norris, Mike Matthews is Peaceful Explosion. Obviously, I am Matthew Duffin, the admin, and Dan Davis is the admin. Unorthodox 16, who is out there on the circuit as well. Max Mulder just dropping a wheel into the... Oh, Harris again, another twitch out the second Lesmo there, Phil.
Yeah, the car just doesn't seem happy, does it? So these guys have got to pit really this lap, because they've only got 3 minutes. And it's what, 1:47 a lap, so yeah, they've got to pit.
Yeah.
Blackmore's in, as is Wittrup.
Wittrup, yeah, that's going to release Dan. Harris has made a mistake again at Ascari. He's had to cut it, but look at this. It's Vienna who's attacking that of Max Mulder. Side by side they go, down the back straight. And Vienna, I think, on the outside has got his nose in front. In fact, he's got a full car in front. Max Mulder back up the inside. At tighter line, and then Max is able to come across the circuit because Vienna had a massive twitch. And Max able then to be fully ahead and can cut across the circuit and take the race in line. So Max Mulder there, good defensive drive at the moment from him. He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, and he's pulled a little bit of a gap there, but someone's just coming out of the pits.
Yeah, Blackmore and Wittrup's just come out of the pits. Blackmore's been jumped by O'Reilly. Wittrup, I tell you what, has come into this train. Who is out on the back of Harris? That is Skunky gaining on the back. So he's down in 15th place. But what a fight this is. Schundelmeyer now looking on the back of Vienna. So the BSP boys, you said they was imploding early doors. They're coming strong in this second half of the race.
They are, and Tim's down in 17th, and Ben has now pitted and 18th because he's probably fixed his damage now. Meanwhile, Will Rasmussen is now coming through Parabolica. He can do one more. I think the top 4, maybe even the top 5 are down. So Rasmussen out, Eckholt stays out. Was it 147? So let's say 148. Drive through cleared for McGowan. Let's say 148 for argument's sake. Paolo in. Yep. Matt Wright's coming in. Now Will Dan Davis. He's got time to do one more. He's going for one more. He's going for one more. Try to jump everyone.
He is indeed. Now, we haven't mentioned yet, but the pit stop time here at Monza for 1 litre of fuel, which is all you're required to do, is 39 seconds loss in the pit lane. McGowan's just lost 31 seconds for the drive-through. A tyre change that we might see in race 2, with it being 30 degrees, will lose you 66 seconds. One of the more harder tracks to lose time on. It will lose you 61% of the lap. Paolo and Matt Wright's coming out the pits now. Here comes Giggle. He will go through. What about Jamal Cloudon? Can he make his way ahead of Paolo and Wright? Well, Paolo's off the limiter. Wright isn't yet. So Cloudon gets ahead. He gets ahead of Paolo as well. What about Kieran O'Reilly? There's Matt Wright. Paolo's just a little further up the road. Can O'Reilly get ahead of Paolo? No, he can't, but he's ahead of Matt Wright. So he's up yet another place, and it's Blackmore. Max Mulder, Schundelmeyer still going hammer and tong with that of Michael Harris. Then it's Pedro Vienna, Skunky from Wittrup, Darren Yo. Then it's Ben who's past Tim Bentinck. Mike Matthews down in 19th place and McGowan down in 20th. The top 3 have got to pit this time around though, Phil. And look at Rasmussen. He's now got Eckholt a second behind him.
He has, yeah. Eckholt's coming. It's be interesting to see what happens in the pits. Everyone's got a pit. Including them people in the comms box, so they've got a pit as well. Yeah. Don't know why it does that, show us.
I'm not sure neither. Well, into the pits now comes Rasmussen and Eckholt. And Dan Davis is surely going to have to get into the pit lane. Don't forget, you only have to be in the pit lane by the time the timer runs out. So you've not got to necessarily get your stop done. You've just got to be in the pit lane itself, over that white line. Here comes Dan Davis. dives into the pits. Giggle exits Ascari. Now, the dots are all still moving on my screen, meaning that they all still haven't yet found their pit box. One has now, and I believe that's Echo.
Rasmussen's just stopped. Echo has done his stop. Rasmussen's done his stop. Echo has... Oh, it's close. But Rasmussen's just in front of Echo.
So Rasmussen in front of Echo. Here comes Giggle then. Down the start finish straight they come. And here comes Giggle. Matthias Giggle then at full chat out the parabolica. They're off the limiter. The two leaders. Has Giggle done the undercut? They're well up the road. Is Rasmussen and Echo. There they are. There is Giggle. And I tell you what, it hasn't worked for him. What about Jamal Crowden? Dan's got a stop go!
Oh, it's just gone back.
So he's got the damage. Where did Dan Davis feed out into this pack? Just behind Blackmore, so 9th place. But he's got a stop-go penalty.
Yeah, as no, we don't have DRS. Neither will F1 after 2025, apparently. For 2026, getting rid of it. Good.
So Rasmussen leads this race from Michael Echo. With Giggle in third, Jamal Clouden 6 seconds behind. He'd love to be on the podium. O'Reilly's had a great drive here. Paolo 6th, with Matt Wright 7th. Blackmore is 8th. Dan Davis was 9th. You've got Harris looking up the inside. Schundelmeyer taps him round. And he's going to wait for him to go. Vienna's had to cut across the chicane, as does Wittrup, to avoid the contact there in the incidents. As Darren Yeo has got Ben on the back of him with Tim Venting, Skunky, Mike Matthews and McGowan. But Dan Davis there, big mistake that you rarely see from the man.
As I said, very tricky pit lane, because that limiter line comes up on you. It jumps out at you.
It does indeed. Matt Wright's looking up the inside into the Ascari chicane on this of Paolo. He's got Blackmore trying to go around the outside. Blackmore keeps his nose in. This could be a brave move from Edward Blackmore and Matt Wright. That is a great piece of driving. Wright bounces over the curb. He's going to lose out to Davis and Max Mulder. But what a move then that is from Edward Blackmore. Right around the outside. Force Matt Wright to keep his footing up the inside. And that is fantastic stuff at the moment.
And Vienna gets in as well.
Vienna does get him on the straight. He does, yeah. Just seen that in the background. Dan Davis, though, Phil, will he do his stop go now? No, he's going to carry on for one more. Yeah,
and yeah, I was watching that from the helicopter cam, because that was fantastic to see all that unfold. Now, Wright's gained his composure. Harris just looked right in front of Schundelmeyer. That's that straight line speed of that Lexus.
Yeah. So he's having a good race as well. Max Mulder's been in the thick of a few fights today, but he's doing well.
He's doing well, yeah. He had a Laguna to forget last week. As it's 0.5 of a second to the lead between Rasmussen and Eccles.
It is indeed, and they are your leaders. And we will get one more lap after this. So this will be the penultimate lap of the race. Ed Blackmore, by the way, coming under a bit of pressure now from Dan Davis, but Dan obviously has that stop go to do. And he's also got Max Mulder for company, has Dan. So
we've got the reigning Pro and Pro-Am champions together on the road.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, and our reigning and GT4 champions down in 14th.
He is. He's having a good scrap with Harris, who's got ahead of... In fact, if they all got ahead of Wittrup, I believe they have. As Ben's now gone wide across. Yeah, I don't know if he got squeezed by Wittrup there. That's going to lose out to Tim Venting. Darren Yeo's not close enough. Skunky's on the back of him. In fact, Darren Yeo, whoa! That was close to it in the back of Ben, who was rejoining. Obviously rejoined where he needed to. But just the difference in speed that Darren caught him through Ascari. And that's allowed Skunky through as well.
Oh, Rasmussen's missed the first chicane. That's a big advantage you gained there, Sunshine. By Rasmussen, because Eckholt was 0.2 of a second behind him across the line. So, yeah, okay.
I think he's yielded it.
He is yielded it.
It looks like he's yielded it because Eckholt's now right on the back of him. So I think he has yielded that time. There, I'm a believer it's bigger penalty if you don't take it in the pit lane, but not sure. Well, I'm not sure where Dan is. I think, Dan has taken his pit stop, but I think Dan may have had to do that before he possibly got disqualified. Eckholt's having a look at the second Lesmo, going up the inside, Michael Eckholt. That is a great move done for the young man, and through he goes. Michael Eckholt takes the lead of this race on the last lap. What a job from him, looking for another race win in a sprint. Giggle's not a million miles away though, Phil.
No, Giggle's only about 3 seconds off the back of Rasmussen. But because they're squabbling on this last lap, you've got one corner to go. One corner left.
Dan Davis is down in last place after his stop-go penalty. Whoa.
Yeah, but Overtaker's not here, so not scoring points.
Overtaker's not his biggest rival, though, at the minute, is it? It is that of O'Reilly and Skunky. Skunky's not scoring big.
O'Reilly's not fastest lap.
O'Reilly has taken the fastest lap. Skunky's not scoring massively big, but he's scoring big enough. But Michael Eckholt, then, is going to come to the line. He's going to win a second race of the season. Michael Eckholt wins from Julius Rasmussen. Matthias Giggle, P3. Jamal Crowden, great drive that for a P4. He's had a poor season at the moment. He's done really well there. Kieran O'Reilly, 5th and fastest lap. Paolo to take a P6. Max Mulder, 7th. Edward Blackmore, P8. Good race for him. Pedro Viena, P9. Matt Wright in 10th. Michael Harris, 11th. Sky Schundelmeyer, P12. Tim Ventink ahead of Wittrup at the end for 13th and 14th. Skunky, 15th. Darren Yo, 16th. Ben, 17th. Mike Matthews, 18th. And then we just await then for Ian McGowan at this moment in time. And then that of Dan Davis. McGowan's not going to want a mistake because he could finish ahead of Dan Davis at the moment.
He could, yeah, as he's now gone through a Scari and heads towards the Parabolica or Curva at Michele Alboreto.
Nope.
I mean, he wasn't even a successful Italian Grand Prix driver.
Doesn't matter.
He won a few races.
Parabolica.
It's Parabolica. Stop changing names of corners.
Well, around the Parabolica comes Ian McGowan now, and down the start-finish straight he comes. He's going to finish down the order, but it's still a result and points on the board. He finishes P19, and Dan Davis, really, for me, the shock of the afternoon, down in 20th place. That, though, is all we have time for this first race. Go and get yourself a drink, maybe a toilet break as well, and we'll be right back in about 10 minutes' time. Clear. Right. Daniel isn't racing.
Jesus.
Wittrup is 14th. Tim Ventink is 13th. Mulder 7th. Harris 11th. Beasley's not here. Vienna 9th. Machado's not here. Mike 18th. Dan 20th. If you had some of the meat on toast, they are fucking banging. Oh, yeah. No, baby, thank you very much. Love you.
Oh. No sign of Gary. Is he on rice?
Oh, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Can he not get into the... No?
He's in that.
Okay, so he didn't join, make sure he just misses race 1. So you see what Dan just said in the chat? Balls.
Yeah. Max Mulder's up to P4.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
Overtaker's fifth and he's tied with Harris.
So yeah, I remapped the buttons on the controller. I might take it down. Well, if not, I've got to fiddle around unplugging it and my camera off back on my PS5 again. And it's like, yeah, I can't be bothered doing that all the time. To plug the keyboard in. If I unplug my dongle from the headset, I've got no headset.
37 points, O'Reilly to Dan.
Yeah. Why don't they put more USB ports on these things? I mean, the 60 gig PS3 had it perfect with Ford, didn't it?
And SD card slots and all sorts.
Yeah. Oh, my sister might sell the her PS2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I hope you like SingStar games.
Tim Venton has put something in the Discord about Harris.
I look, but I'm not going to say anything.
Ben said that Daz has brake checked him.
Well, stop saying things and put bloody tickets in.
Come on, Ben. Don't be a dickhead.
Yes, I am hungry. I might have to eat the bottle of sauce I've got in the fridge.
McLaren won that, didn't they?
Yep. From Ferrari.
Yep.
And Ferrari.
Who took pole last night? Dennis Hansen.
Dennis Hansen, but then he got a drive through.
I am sending it to the most successful list. I am the most successful driver at this circuit. 3 poles and 3 wins.
Yeah, boy.
Until Dan gets pole in a minute.
Yeah, I just got a mum's PSA.
Fair enough.
So, instead of just turning on more than one device. Yeah, but I'll have to join on the Xbox. If it's on the entry list. So you asked Kieran if he can co-commentate last week, didn't you?
Yep. Never heard back from him until tonight. And because I double checked, and it was now I'm out with family. Was that alright?
Yeah, I'll probably struggle on my own.
Try and
On
find someone to
Tuesday.
on Tuesday.
If not, you've got so much of a points gap, haven't you?
Yep.
That points gap. And the 50th race win. Because that was race 2, so they can't take that away from you.
Exactly. Oh, I wonder if Gary's been trick-or-treating.
He might have been. My niece and nephew have been, apparently. They're got pictures of they're very happy with their sweet roll. But them teeth fall out anyway, so they ain't got to worry about them ones, do they? It's the second tier set you got to take care of. Because they got to last at least, what, 60 years, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm missing. I've got a broken one. I've had 2 taken out because I had braces and there wasn't enough room in my gob when I was a teenager. And my one that I had a filling has fallen out. The whole tooth is gone.
Okay.
Well, I don't have to worry about it needing to be filled anymore, do I?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've got a broken wisdom tooth, but it don't hurt, so what's the point getting it filled? Because it won't be, because there's a wisdom tooth. They'd pull that out, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm going to be doing it, mate.
Yeah, I can't be asked turning the oven on or cooking anything.
We just had toasters in the toasting machine.
And plus, let them do come out the pits before going back live. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dan did get a bit delirious last night. Especially in the second race.
Why?
Because he'd been on his own. I did offer.
Oh, right.
Even if I couldn't join the lobby, I could still see the live stream, can't I?
Yeah.
Okay, it'd be a bit delayed, but I can still see it. Twelve, 11. So Gary will be the last person to finish the lap in practice.
Well, Mike. Oh no, Mike's pitted.
Yeah. Yeah, and Daz is out there anyway. No. Gary's on invalid.
Green light, go, go, go.
Right.
Look like Max is the first one out.
Okay.
Nope, it's Mr. Chicane. He actually drove around the bollards, man. He not drove through them. He drove round them. Not
He's a
through
good
them.
boy. That's good for Max.
No rush. Max is at Lesmo 1. In between Lesmo 1
Yeah,
and
I'm
Lesmo
on board
2.
him at the minute.
I'm above him and flying in the air. P4.
Welcome back then to SimPlay Motorsport as we're here for the qualifying session of this afternoon. And what a session it is going to provide us with. We're on board with Max Mulder at this stage in qualifying. He has just started his hot lap as we say good evening to Becca in the chat saying go Skunky. With the championship standings make for interesting reading, Dan Davis has his lead cut down to 37 points. With Kieran O'Reilly being able to pull some points back on him in race 1. Skunky has his gap to 65, excuse me. Max Mulder's up to P4 on 204 points. He's ahead of Overtaker, who's tied with Michael Harris. Obviously, Overtaker not here tonight, so this will probably be his drop score. Jamal Clouden is P7 after that 4th place, just ahead of Wittrup, who is on a qualifying ban and therefore cannot qualify. Tim Bentink is P9 with Ben in P10. Matt Wright is P11. Ian McGowan in 12th. With Machado 13th, Eckholt up to P14 now, the good couple of results. Vienna's 15th with Schundelmeyer in P16. Paolo, Mike Matthews, Darren Yo, Diz Rasmussen, Cosme Blackmore, Daniel from Gary Leach, Matthias Giggle, Richard Beasley, Patrick Ledger and Max Verkrashen. Max Mulder has just pitted, so we are going to go to the 36 of Clouden to finish the lap. The Constructors' Championship then is looking like this. It is going the way of SimPlay Racing, 58 points clear of the Red Line Junkies, with BSP Esports on 94 behind. Fat Blokes Bandits at P4 with Team FBR P5. BSP Racing at P6 with Naval Racing Team P7. From Dan Seb Racing and then Team SPR bringing up the rear. So Wittrup on that qualifying ban, Phil. We're about to see some of the first flying laps come in here in qualifying. Who are we expecting to take pole position?
Alexis, to be honest, with its straight line speed. Outside chance for Clouden in the Merc, because the GT4 version was very strong here on Tuesday. Yeah, so maybe Dan Clouden or outside chance Eckholt in the McLaren.
Well, let's keep an eye on what happens here. Rasmussen's the man who set the pace so far by putting it on provisional pole. McGowan has just gone into that 2nd place. Ed Blackmore goes up in to 3rd. The 112 of Eckholt is coming around the parabolica now. So let's see what he's going to be able to do then in this qualifying session. Down the start straight he comes. And what sort of lap time is he going to put on the board? He goes into P5 at the moment. Car 1 though with Dan Davis. He's also coming to the line. Where's this going to put him on the circuit at the moment? Obviously needs a good lap here to really set the tone. Only goes P4. Mike Matthews, what can he do? First up in his Ferrari. Any lap times he's been able to put on the board. He goes P7. So not great, but you know, not bad at the minute. Steady, I think is the right word.
Banker laps.
Yeah.
Put a time on the board first to get your eye in. Let the track rubber in a bit more as everyone's gone round. Because it's what 29 degrees now. It says it's optimum, but you can always put more rubber on the track.
I assume you're asking me, Becca. No, I am not from Stoke. From Wales, but live in the Midlands. And no, he's not. He's from Norfolk.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you what someone from. I couldn't even tell you what someone from Stoke sounds like. Max Mulder then coming to the line. What's he going to be able to do here? No, that's his outlap. So Jamal Clouden, back to you. Oh, only P12. That's a little disappointing for Jamal Clouden. The 140 of Ben. Now coming to the line. Before it seems like we've got a few cars that's more spread out here. Ben goes up to P3. We're able to actually look at a few other cars this time instead of just picking up one straight after another. Blackmore goes into 12th. What about Pedro Vienna? The 135 is then next of Matt Wright. Vienna up to 8th. Here comes Matt Wright before we change to Harris. Wright stays 7th. Harris goes up into 3rd place. The 112. That is Eckholt. Coming around to the line now. P9 at the moment. Here he comes to the line. Goes top of the timing screen. 22 thousandths of a second off the pole. Gary Leach in his Porsche. He's won round here before. Only P14 at the minute. What about Dan Davis in his Lexus? Looking for that pole position. Can he take it at this stage of qualifying? Yes. He does by some 6/10. That is an impressive lap from Dan Davis. The man who always qualifies well. Mike Matthews, his teammate, moves up to 7th place. Darren Yo moves up to 11th. What about car 81 of Paolo then? That's a good lap from Dan. That's a good lap.
It is a good lap. Paolo goes up, swaps position with Daz. Oh, Max has clipped the barrier and is thrown through the chicane.
Just notice we've actually lost a driver. Oh, Schundelmeyer can't do race 2. He did put it in the Discord earlier. So Schundelmeyer can't do race 2. So that is why the other Porsche is. Here comes Ian McGowan. Rounds that final corner. Down the start straight he comes to the line. Stays 8th. At the minute the 140 looks like it's the next car on a valid lap. That is Ben, who's currently 8/10 off the pole. Ben looking to get up into above 6th place. Stays currently P6. The 28 of Blackmore to the line. Stays where he is. What about Pedro Viana? He stays P11. Matt Wright. He stays P10. Michael Harris improves, but only by 2 thousandths. The 112 is next. That is Eckel. Needs to find 6/10. That is some almighty pace from Dan early in this session. He finds half of it. Yeah, he's half that deficit. Here comes Dan Davis. Rounds the Parabolica.
Can he put it further out of touch?
Can he get into that 46ers? No. No improvement for Dan. 35 of Darren Yo is next. Mike invalidated his lap. Daz not close enough for any slipstream. We'll then go and check on the 81 of Paolo. Daz doesn't improve, down in 13th place. Remember, if you are new to the channel, please hit that thumbs up button on the stream, as well as hitting that bell to be notified when we go live. We'll be back live next Tuesday as Paolo goes ahead of Pedro Viana into 12th. We'll be back live next Tuesday. Unsure who's in the box at the moment due to the fact that Dan Davis is away, so we'll not be on comms next Tuesday night. So we'll have 2 guest commentators, hopefully, or at least 1 guest commentator, hopefully, next week. Myself and Dan will be back in the box next Wednesday, with myself and Phil back in on Thursday evening, and they'll all be 8 p.m. GMT next week, as well as, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. We are 2 subscribers away from that magic 800. Jamal Clouden's next on our lap, though, Phil.
Yeah, I'll just deep thought then. Who is Jamal? He's gone up to P3.
Good lap time from Jamal Clouden. The 302 of Skunky stays into P4. Who is the 28? That is Blackmore coming around the final corner. Down in 16th place. What can Blackmore do? A second separates the top 11. We've been on about in Pro how close it is. Blackmore moves up to 15th. Pedro Viana stays where he is, the 34. That is Harris. Stays, in fact, no, goes up to P2. No. So a good lap from Michael Harris here. Lexus front row at the minute.
Lexus is yeah. Everyone, next person on a ballot lap look like it's Mike on the mini map.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
The blue dot could be wrong. It could lie to you.
Gary didn't move. The 120 is Giggle. That hasn't moved. Mike's just had a mega twitch through the Parabolica. He stays P11. Let's go to the 74. Daz improves back up to 15th. O'Reilly down in 10th at the minute. Not a strong qualifying from O'Reilly here so far.
No, not yet. He's about to complete the lap though, so let's see. Yep, P8 now.
Yeah, moves up the order. Here comes Rasmussen to the line now. No improvement there, and then we look at turning our attention to the 664. So Wittrup will start 20th place with that qualifying ban.
Yep, probably best place to avoid the carnage sometimes. Yeah. Into turn 1.
So here comes McGowan, rounds of, final corner. Down the start straight he goes. Ian McGowan to the line. No improvement there. What about then car 28? That's Blackmore. Tight again, isn't it, really? Top 12 separated by a second. Very tight again.
Yeah, this just shows how tight Pro is. And next week we go to a very different circuit. Well, it's not a long straight.
As Blackmore moves up into 13th place. Yeah, next week we go to... Vienna's just gone up into 7th. It's a good lap from him. We'll find the 120. Next week we head to Snetterton. So we head back to British Shores. Could possibly be the first full week of rain. We know we've had rain at Misano for the GT4s. We've had showers around. But that's all we've really had, isn't it, for the GT3s this year? We're into the wintry months. And we've not even had a bit of weather yet. No, it was wetter in the summer months.
But then again, we're in Spain in 2 weeks' time, and they've had flooding.
Yeah. Yeah, Valencia and Barcelona. Yeah, Mattis Giggle stays where he was. Mike Matthews just over a second outside the pole. Moves up to 11th within 7/10 of a second. Darren Yeo moves up within a second into the top 14. So drivers started to improve now. We're going to pick up the 74 of O'Reilly, who's back down to 9th, Phil.
Yeah, it's just how competitive this grid is. And he goes P2.
Oh, yeah, great lap. Great lap from O'Reilly. The 454 of Rasmussen moves up to 5th place. And who are we next looking for? We're looking for the 664 of Ian McGowan. What a pro league this is this season.
Yeah, what is so competitive, and you just don't know where it's going to come from, who's going to win or anything like that. Yeah, McGowan.
Yeah, McGowan up into 9th, so he's done a bit as well. 46 is next.
That's
Vienna. Coming up towards the Parabolica then.
Look a bit twitchy through Parabolica, not going to lie.
Yeah, that BM's not looked pretty stable tonight. I don't think we've seen the best of Wittrup and Vienna, have we?
Yeah, he's
bailed.
The pits.
So one.
And he ain't got time to get another one out.
No, he hasn't. Who's the 120? That is Giggle. Coming down the back straight. Good first race for him. On the podium. I believe that's his first podium of the season. Yeah, he had a best of 4th place, but for Giggle, yeah, good podium.
And it was a... Was it all PlayStation podium?
All PlayStation podium, yeah. Giggle to the line, stays P10 at the moment. Car 42's next, that's Tim Ventink.
Tim is way down in 18th.
The Ferrari's not looked comfortable here, has it? I know we've just said it's got a double podium, but that was reverse grid. It doesn't look like it's got the outright pace.
11th
Tim now moves up to 11th. Top 16 separated by a second. Gary's done. Paolo's done. Matt Wright is going to continue on. He's going to get one more in. As will Mike, as will Dan, as will Michael Harris. Matt Wright stays just 1.1 outside the pole position. Next car is the 664. And I think, could the 95 of Max get one last lap in?
He's via Ascari? Just come out with Ascari?
Yeah. The line comes up quick, doesn't it? So possibly McGowan there, P8, he's going to return to the pit lane, so he is done. Max Mulder's down in 14th. This is going to be tight. The 302 is also done. That is Skunky. Here comes Max.
Mulder.
No, he's not going to do it.
Made it.
Not going to do it. Did he improve on his lap? Was he on a valid? No, he wasn't. Invalid. So 36 a Cloudin. Normally has a better race 2 than a race 1, but he got a 4th in race 1. Into the Parabolica in that Mercedes.
Unleashing its V8.
Kind of kept it at the middle of the road there, all the way around. Then down. P7. No improvement.
120. Let's Giggle.
Yeah, he's down in 10th. Can he move up the order? He can. P5. Good lap from Giggle. Tim Ventink, who's up to 11th.
He's bailed.
He's bailed. He's gone straight on and just crashes into the wall.
And here comes Eckholt.
I think Dan's possibly got pole here because they need something special. Eckholt goes second, but it's not close enough. What about O'Reilly? He can't go back to the top. The 135, that's Matt Wright. Yeah, unless Harris has got a mega slipstream from Dan all lap. Wright up to 9th. Great lap, Matt Wright. What about Michael Harris, though, here?
Oh, no, he had a wiggle.
Right, so that's that probably ruined. Here goes Dan Davis. Harris has bailed. Dan Davis to the line. And he doesn't improve, but will take pole position. So Dan has got his 5th pole position of the season. And it wasn't the, last lap wonder that we see from Dan Davis like last week. It was done pretty early on, and it's been pretty comfortable.
And my ears bleed when Matt gets very excited. They bleed.
Gary Leach down in 20th place. That's not a place he'd have wanted to be.
No. No, it ain't, is it? But he hasn't had his race 1 to dial out all the
this is
setup.
true. This is true. You don't know if he was actually testing on like single player or anything, do you? So, he could have got a bit of testing under the belt or something, but he didn't. Clouden 8th, he's got work to do, I think, from there to get another top 5.
Yeah, he's got a bit of work, but again, it's a bit of a grunt machine, the Merc, as is that Aston, because it's the same engine.
Giggle.
Yeah,
5th.
Highest Ferrari.
Rasmussen 6th was just inputting the data there. So it's another point in the way of Dan Davis.
Every point counts, even at this phase of the championship.
It does.
It's still early doors, but
Well, it's still 791 points. In fact, no, if I add that back on, there's still 848 points left to play for. So still a huge tally of points left up for grabs.
yeah, and it's definitely not over yet. As we head to South Norfolk next week in England, where in theory should be wet and cold because it's November. And then Barcelona, Valencia. I think Valencia's after Barcelona.
Yep.
But I can't remember. As they begin the formation lap.
Right. Poll has gone out for you to vote for who you think will win this second race. If you do think it's somebody else, make sure you comment in the description down below and let us know who you think it should be.
Who do we put the curse on? Yeah? Yeah. Didn't work for me last race, so did it again. I said Eckholt and Eckholt won.
Yeah, and I went Clouden and he got a P4, so yeah, didn't really work there.
Well, I know what I would say next week, even with them down in 19th, because it's Snetterton. And we know what Gary goes like at Snetterton.
Yeah, but there's also another guy that goes well at all British tracks, even though he hates them.
Yeah, he ought to hand in his British card.
Who are you going for though, Phil?
I think I'm gonna go for. Ooh, who wants the commentator's curse? Yeah, I think now Dan's got clear track. I reckon it'll probably be Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eckholt because I don't know if Eckholt can challenge him into turn 1. I don't think Dan's going to have it his own way. Let's wait and see though. There's only one way to find out. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. As well as going into the description and checking out our fantastic sponsors. Design Manchester, producers of all things vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. And check out Audio Sport, manufacturers of VW Transport, T4 Audio Solutions and styling products. Head over to audiosport.co.uk. Links are all in the description for them as well. Make sure you give them a check out.
And we've also got a Patreon.
We do also have a Patreon. Make sure you head over there, and if you'd like to donate, there is also the donate button on the YouTube channel if you'd like to donate towards the channel and help anything out. If you would like to check out the Patreon, there is the supports and what you can get for it and what you can get with it as well.
And if you'd like to be a commentator
if you'd like to sign up to be a commentator, a steward, anything else, make sure you go on to join the Discord and register yourself on the job application. And we'll see what happens into the next season. Through a score, they go now.
Yeah, they should be going double file now, because that's when you get the call on the radio, say go double file through the Scary. But they've not yet, because they're still warming their tyres, which I really don't think you need to do. Not at 30 degrees C. Track temp. What else do we have? Yeah, make sure definitely join our Discord though, so you can see. We have a suggestions thread on like what people would like to see and implemented in it. I'm really having trouble talking today. I'm really having trouble talking today. It's like been a bit of a rush. I think I need a Mars bar to curb my hunger.
Well, they ran in the Parabolica for that final time. Who is going to be the race winner? It's Dan on the front row with Michael Eccles. Dan will be fine as long as he doesn't do another peaceful pirouette, says Fury's granddad in the chat.
Or stop go.
Well, to the start line they come. The 1 hour race is green and go. Here it is nearly the midway point of the season. It looks a really good start. Eccles actually looked like he was starting to ebb a little closer to Dan in terms of that straight line speed. It's actually O'Reilly and Harris that's going to be getting the benefit of that slipstream from 3rd and 4th on the grid. Dan now getting it, just started to pull away from Eccles, who's late on the brakes, going to try and go around the outside. It all looks relatively clean away down towards the mid-pack. Everybody is through. Absolutely squeaky clean, and that is how Monza should be done. But Dan Davis got ahead at the start, and that's exactly what he needed to do, Phil.
Yeah, there's Eccles' only hope is just to sit in his slipstream and let it pull him along.
The drivers who finished 2nd and 3rd and went toe-to-toe in the first race, Rasmussen and Giggle going toe-to-toe yet again here. And Rasmussen bounces off the curb and taps Giggle round. That's been caught by Smokey and Cloud, and Matt Wright's got past him. McGowan trying to go through as well. And it sounds like Vienna's had a moment. Mike's got a bit of damage. Darren Yo's going up the inside of Ben, as they're still side by side, and now it's Skunky and Max Mulder who are trying to get past. In fact, no, that was... Yeah, it is now, actually. It was McGowan who's just got past Jamal Clouden. So Jamal Clouden has been mugged a few places. And here goes Ben, looking to the outside of Tim Bentincourt, ready down towards the Ascari.
Yeah, meanwhile, where's he gone? Where's Vienna gone? Vienna's had a mare. He's right at the back.
Yeah, he was off the track at the second chicane. Only takes 7 races this week to get a clean turn 1, says Rob Smith in the chat. But either way, it's a good start to the race. That is... Who's that with big damage? I think Rasmussen's had a moment at the Ascari chicane. He's got front and rear damage. And I believe that is Mike Matthews with side-by-side with Giggle, who's also been off.
Don't turn.
Now, Rasmussen has been off somewhere. He's going to have to pit and try and get that one back out, score some points then. Pit window obviously opens at the 37.5 minute mark, 35.5 minute mark. And Rasmussen straight into the pits. That's going to ruin his race 2.
Meanwhile, Eccles is doing what he needs to do, trying to keep with Dan, but again, we don't know what everyone's fuel loads. What we could find out, but we're not going to. And what if they're going to change tyres or not? Because
Ben's slow. Just coming through the curve of Grande, Ben's lost.
He's losing a handful of places.
Ben locked up, so he's gone straight on over the chicane. That's the problem. Well, he's lost a handful of places there. Now Mike Matthews fancies a look up the inside on Giggle. Not going to happen. So Ben locked up, went straight on. As Blackmore's getting past that of Sebastian Wittrup for P14 and 15. So drama down the order. Gary's 19th place. He's got a bit of front end damage. He has not come through the pack at all. Coach sticking with Dan though at the moment, PM.
Yeah, and O'Reilly's just within touch, and then Harris, and then it's about nearly a 3-second gap to Skunky from Harris.
Through Ascari, which Dan may be taking a bit conservatively now based off of what happened race 1. Eccles right in that slipstream of the Lexus. And there's a yellow flag. That says car 34, does it not? Is that Harris? It is, off at Ascari.
It is Harris.
So he's had a moment at Ascari, like Chris says in the chat. He gave the place back, but then gave even more. Christmas is a while yet. No, Christmas is right around the corner. Halloween is finished now. Get your trees up. Yes, it is.
It's not finished yet. It's not midnight yet.
It's pretty much done. Get your Christmas trees up.
Yet.
Get your Christmas trees up.
And we need to have fireworks, bonfire night, and Remembrance Sunday, is it?
They don't count. They're not national holidays. They're not holidays. Michael Eccles takes the fastest lap from Dan. He's within 2/10 of Dan Davis as well. Rasmussen now a lap down in the pits. He's going to have to try and come back out on circuit. Giggle going side by side with Darren Yo. Mike nearly into the back of Darren Yo. Darren Yo struggled a bit tonight, hasn't he, as well? Just a lack of pace for him.
Yeah, he's been testing all week and saying not happy with the car around here. So Eckholt's so far fastest lap, but probably because he's getting pulled along by Dan.
Yeah, he probably is setting the pace because of that. But Dan's not going to be too worried at the moment. Eckholt's not really in the championship fight with him. Mike having a look at Daz, you say?
Yeah, he had a look in the second chicane, but thought better off it. They've got Ben breathing down their neck as well, and Blackmore. Mike's had a little wiggle in this car. Oh, there's the one.
Wittrup's not far off this train as well.
Nova's Vienna. Yeah. Oh, Clouden.
Yeah, Clouden's just gone across the gravel there. That's going to make... well, it's not Tim Venting because Tim's already got through. That's going to be Matthias Giggle who's got through then. So Tim's already got past Clouden as well in this sector. So Clouden's had a bit of a bad lap. As Mike now having a look up the inside of Daz at Ascari. Daz has got history with the SimPlay racing team at Ascari. With a Mr. Dan Davis back in the Pro-Am PS4 days. As DJ Phil has to agree with me on this one. Put your Christmas trees up. Let's play Christmas music. Yes!
No. 30 years bad luck.
Now Ben's going up the inside of Darren Yo. Leaves just enough space. Wittrup's looking up the inside of Blackmore. Great moves. Great moves happening back here. Vienna's also having a look up the inside of Blackmore. So Blackmore loses 2 places and Daz loses out to Ben as well.
Oh, contact between Eckholt and Dan. So Dan's around. Eckholt's clipped the rear and carried on driving him off.
So Eckholt's around then. Back down to the Darren Yo battle though, because it was being... Oh, sorry, Dan's around. Being swamped is Darren Yo. By that, a Wittrup up the inside. Thank you, mama, for the carrots. Vienna's turned Daz around.
Yeah, so... now O'Reilly's on the back of Eckholt.
Yeah, and where's Dan Davis? Behind. That is behind Ian McGowan.
It's McGowan, is it?
Yeah, because McGowan's just out of Tim Venting. Tony's under the stairs, but he telling me earlier that he got his out today. Let's get firework and Halloween. Let's go straight to the big one, Christmas. Yes, Phil. Phil understands. Phil gets it. Kieran O'Reilly now, though, on the back of Michael Eckholt. I tell you what, this for O'Reilly could be huge for the championship tonight.
It could be, yeah, because... I don't know. Oh, well, yeah. Come on. I'm not being biased to Aston Martin. If only it was the V12. Whatever happened to Hofner? Running cars that no one else ran.
Yeah. So it's Eckholt from O'Reilly. Skunky's now 3rd. Matt Wright's 4th. McGowan 5th. Dan Davis 6th. Tim Venting, Giggle from Clouden. Clouden from Mike with Ben. Then Wittrup. Then Blackmore. Then Vienna. Max Mulder. Paolo, who's having a look up the inside, is Paolo. Into Parabolica. Here he goes. Oh, that looked a little close there.
That looked a bit late, didn't it?
Yeah,
Max is wide.
He is a little wide here. Now, Paolo's got a bit of front-end damage. This could be beneficial to Gary. Gary, who would have been standing still in a Ginetta this time on Tuesday. But down here, his Porsche has a bit more straight-line speed than that Ginetta. He actually gets the 6th gear that uses. And look at these two. Still hammer and tong. Paolo, late on the brakes, misses turn 1. Day late, dollar short. And he's going to have to yield that time. And he actually drives around the bollards. There goes Max. And the problem is, there goes Gary.
Yeah, because Gary was close enough behind Max to capitalise on that. And
Dan has passed McGowan and Giggles past Venting. Rob Smith saying a Christmas Day endurance race, anyone? Now, it's funny you say that. There is going to be a chat to be had about maybe a 22nd of December race involving a Ferrari Challenge, a Super Trofeo, a Porsche Cup and a BMW M2 car. And it would be 8 drivers in each category. So keep your eyes out. But Eckholt still leads and he's gapped O'Reilly a little bit now.
He has, yeah. Meanwhile, Skunky's like 4 seconds off the back of O'Reilly. Ferrari just doesn't look happy here, does it?
It doesn't look happy here, which is strange. But Wittrup's got ahead of Mike and Ben now. There's Mike wide on the exit of Ascari. That's going to invite Ben through. Mike's just going to have lost all momentum. And there goes Ben. He's going to be on the outside. He's going to be through. Mike, that was pretty aggressive. Took him back underneath behind.
Yeah, and there's Blackmore and Vienna.
Yeah, Vienna. Max Mulder not a million miles. Oh, in fact, yeah, Max Mulder's not a million miles away, and he's dropped Gary a little bit now, and Gary's being caught by Paolo. Darren Yo's 2.5 behind this. He's got Michael Harris hunting him down. Let's see Harris chase down Darren Yo. We know how good that Lexus is in a straight line. Rasmussen behind these, but he's 2 laps down at the moment. Yep. Here goes Harris, pulls out. And did he get fully past him, did he?
No, he hit the curb and clipped Daz then.
Yeah.
I saw Harris's car bounce on the curb, but he didn't gain advantage.
I tell you what, Matthias Giggle is having a blinder of a race. He's up to 7th. He's on the back of McGowan here.
He is, yeah, and obviously his Ferrari might be working.
Yeah, it seems to be at the moment that his Ferrari is the one that works so far. And he's doing a decent job. Eckholt, sorry, what was you going to say, Phil?
He's now about 2.5 of O'Reilly, so maybe O'Reilly is saving tyres and fuel and Eckholt's running light.
Possibly so. We just don't know at the moment, Tim. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of them strategies. What is it for that tyre change that I said is 66 seconds for a tyre change? So
number.
How could I forget that number? So it's going to be an interesting tyre strategy race. Mike Matthews still on the back of Blackmore now. In fact, Blackmore's got past Mike. So Mike's even struggling. We've not seen Mike struggle like this for a long time.
No, but he's back in his beloved Ferrari, so...
Monza clearly not, though, a Ferrari track. I know Skunky's 3rd, no. Matt Wright's 4th. But the Ferraris have looked the weaker car today.
They have, yeah, and the Porsche haven't been particularly strong either, to be honest.
I don't know, Tibbs looked pretty quick. Schundelmeyer looked quick.
Maybe I would say the McLaren, but the McLaren's leading. I expected more from the Merc.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was 4th in race 1. We know that Merc grows in race 2, don't we? We know that Clouden as a driver gets better as the race 2 goes on.
It might be going through that phase that all front engine cars do on this game. They go through a phase where you just feel like you're driving on ice, and there's nothing you could do about it, because I know the Bentley did it a lot.
Giggles got past McGowan now, looking on the timing screens. And Giggles now 1.2 off the back of Dan Davis, and we saw Dan not looking like he had mega pace with that bit of damage he had through Ascari in race 1. So if Dan's got any damage here, maybe with contact with Eckholt, as he's just dropped a wheel on the gravel up there through the second Lesmo, then we know that Lexus could possibly be hampered, and the Ferrari is better on its brakes.
Yeah. As I said, it's a bit like that Ginetta or even the Alpine in GT4s.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh, Giggle aggressive on them sausage curbs, though. You don't want to take them too much, because I've watched a 6-hour World Endurance race, and I've seen an Aston get barrel rolled by them sausage rolls. Sausage rolls?
That was at the second chicane there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at the second chicane, yeah. So, when will they get rid of them? Because clearly they cause too much damage. There's better ways to have track.
Well, I mean...
Gravel,
or just actually penalise them.
Yeah.
Ben's had pace. Sorry, Phil.
Ben has had pace. Ben is on the back of Wittrop.
Yeah, he's looked good, hasn't he, today? He's looked like he's had a bit of pace about him. And he looks like he's doing an alright job, does Ben, at the moment. Like I say, he's on the back of Wittrop.
He's got a hell of a slipstream.
He has indeed. Coming down, pulls out now into turn 1. And here comes Ben. Nope, tucks back in. So without that slipstream, he just seems
having another look. Oh, no, that... Whoops.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. That wasn't even a day late and $1 short from Ben.
He looked like he went onto the curb on the inside, and it launched an Aston Martin, didn't it?
Yeah. It did look like it was about a whole week too late there. So, yeah, let's see. There's Ben, P11 now. He's got work to do. Dan Davis still gaining on the back of Matt Wright. Giggle's gained a 10th over Dan. And Giggle hasn't dropped McGowan massively at the moment. So he's got pace, but he's slowly dropping.
Yeah. Well, it is that phase of a race where we've got 10 minutes until the pit window opens, and what do you...
Something's happened to Harris. Just noticed at the track map, Phil. He is a long way behind the train, and at the back of the train was that of
that's
Rasmussen.
a very loose car again. Really loose, like putting the power down. He's like not running traction control. Even the game dips tell you don't do that.
So interesting there. We'll keep our eyes on that. Ben just did a season 1 Ben there. Says Ben Varga. I assume that means he did it in season 1.
Actually, Benny, what are you doing on Tuesday? Can you get access to the PS5? Team check in the comms box for GT4s? Yeah?
Here comes Dan Davis. Has a look on Matt Wright. Tucks back in. He's not close enough yet. He was giving Matt Wright a flash of the lights here coming down towards the score. So Dan Davis clearly wanting to get a move on here and get back onto leaders. Ben's back up the rear of Wittrup. And this time, brakes a little earlier, gets it stopped and turned in. Paolo trying to get in on Mike Matthews now.
He is, and maybe Dan can see that pink Ferrari coming in his mirrors. I mean, it's pretty bright. You're going to notice it, aren't you?
He is referring to himself. There we go. Yeah, Dan's going to notice that Giggles took another 0.2 out the time here. And that's the thing, isn't it? While he's stuck behind Matt Wright, he wants to get that pressure. You know, he doesn't want that pressure from Giggle behind, does he?
No. And thinks Skunky's not that far up the road either, as well. But he's got 5 seconds of drift of O'Reilly, and Eckholt's like pulled a 3-second lead now. But you need
the other thing as well, though, isn't it? Is strategy. We don't know what strategy cars are running.
No, we don't. We don't have a Ted Kravitz shorts in the pit lane to say what people's planned strategies are.
Well, down the back straight they come now. Mike Matthews
in the pits.
95 has had a moment. That's Max Mulder, Pedro Vienna. Oh, Max Mulder's car's hanging apart.
Has Mike's
definitely returned to pits. But has Mike got caught up in that incident? Ben's trying to tuck underneath that of Sebastian Wittrup now. Looking to really try and tuck underneath. That'll help Rasmussen out in this race, because Mike will have a 2-minute wait plus whatever time in the pits he has. Vienna is stationary to Scory. Moving again now. And a drag race between Vienna... between Wittrup and Ben. And
Wittrup got pace.
Yeah, but Wittrup better on the brakes. Dan Davis has cleared Matt Wright now.
Yeah, he's trying to get away from that pink Ferrari, because that pink Ferrari looked like the quickest stuff.
Rasmussen's back in the pits as well. He's got a bit more damage also, so that's another pit stop for Rasmussen there. Not sure why, but there's an inkling, I reckon, as to what may have happened, Phil.
Yeah, I've just seen YouTube chat.
Yeah.
I've just seen YouTube chat.
Rob Smith saying he was really glad he took tyres last night. Car was getting loose. Hey Mike, says Ben Varga, it's illegal to go to the pits without driving there. It isn't illegal to go to the pits without driving there. You have to come back out on the circuit. If Mike stays in that pits, that's a retirement and a qualifying ban. If Mike returns to the track and finishes the race, then he's done the race. It's arguably that Mike has hurt himself more because he's got his pit stop time plus an additional 2 minutes. Gary lets his teammate Darren Yeo go. Gary Leach just no pace here tonight in that Porsche.
No, I think you wish for GT3 Janetta was in this game.
Yeah. Oh, who's that around? 36. Clouden.
That's Clouden.
Clouden offered to Scory, and I believe on his own.
Yeah.
By the way, Gary's just got a heck of a run on Darren Yeo through a Scory here.
Are they working together to use each other's slipstreams to pull away?
So I reckon there, Mike's got 2 minutes 30 damage, because he's saying 4 minutes 30, but 2 minutes that is obviously because he's returned to the pits on his own, so he's got a 2 minute 30 damage time there. Gary Leach not able to do anything. Giggle's now on the back of Matt Wright, so Giggle is charging, Phil.
Yep.
He's having, I think I've got a driver of the day.
I think I've got one as well. And Dan has actually caught Skunky.
And this could be big for the championship, because Skunky only 60 odd points behind. You know.
Skunky's looking slidey as well. He looks slidey through the second chicane.
The Ferraris just aren't good. The Ferraris just, I don't know, they just... It's funny to say, oh, he's wide. Dan had a huge slide. Well held there from Dan Davis.
I
yeah, the
think
Ferraris
really suffered on the WRC.
the only Ferrari that I think, Phil, has looked good is Giggle. It's looked
Giggles,
stable.
yeah.
It's looked confident.
Yeah. Look at him on the back of Matt Wright's car.
Rasmussen's back out the pits. Max Mulder is also out the pits. Max Mulder fixed his damage long now. I wonder if... Oh, Mike wouldn't have... Yeah, Mike's drove into the pit, so no tyre change. Nothing for Max has helped him. Gary still trying to catch Daz. Ben still on the back of Wittrup. Giggle still right with Matt Wright. Sorry, PM.
No, I wouldn't think of anything for changing. Dan, though, here we go. We're going to get the straight line speed of the Lexus. I'm going to go to helicopter for this so I can see it. We've lost the driver. We're down to 19.
Mike Matthews has left the lobby.
Yeah.
Oh, his game's just crashed. He's just put in the chat. So that's going to bring him back in. That's going to be another 2 minutes wait time.
By the time we get back in, the pit window will be open, so it'll be out and straight back in again.
Well, he's driving round, really, isn't he, now for P20 points in the bag. See what happens.
Points.
Yeah, it's and it's not. It's crucially not a quali ban. Although saying that, his game's just crashed, so you know that's the difference there.
Oh, look at Dan on the back of Skunky heading towards the Nesmo 1. But you don't want to turn in too early into that barrier because
it sticks out, doesn't it?
Sir Lewis Hamilton has hit that barrier before in the past.
He has. Let's see though. Dan got on the gravel again. That Lexus looks a little slight at times, and look who's got past in the background. Giggle has passed Matt Wright. He's on the charge again. Dropping down to Blackmore. Blackmore's got Wittrup and Ben chasing him down. Gary Leach on the back of Darren Yote. Mike Matthews back in the lobby.
That was wide by Dan.
Yeah,
through the scarry.
He just needs to get back into a comfortable rhythm, doesn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, but here we go. Coming in the Parabolica.
I think he's too far back, Phil. I think he's too far back. Let's go on board with Skunky. Let's actually look at his rear wing.
Well, I'm on helicopter cam watching overhead. Here comes Lexus. It's coming into frame. I don't think it's enough though.
No, I don't think he's got enough. Nope, runs out of road.
Oh, Skunky's deep though, and
yeah, he's missed the chicane. Missed the first chicane. Yielded the time. He had a huge lift, and he's had another one. So Dan's flashing away, but Skunky there twice has had a big lift. Yields that time. Dan Davis is going to sail through now. Well, I don't know if Skunky gave the position. I don't feel like he needed to give the position.
He was ahead, still at the breaking point, wasn't he? So, but here come Giggle.
Oh, Dan's had a horrible second chicane. Skunky's lost it. Skunky's lost it. There goes Giggle. Oh, Matt Wright nearly hit him. But yeah, Skunky there. Wittrup's got past Blackmore. Blackmore's coming back at Wittrup into the second chicane. Close but no cigar there for the McLaren driver.
So, look at so Dan now back on the podium. Skunky's Ferrari did Lancia things. Let's go for something else in the Fiat family, shall we? Lancia rally cars. But I'll tell you what, Giggle isn't far off, is he?
Yeah, no.
In that pink
he's
Ferrari.
He's there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's not forget he got tapped around lap 1 as well, lap 2 by Rushmore. Rasmussen, sorry.
And Dan got had contact with Echo.
Whoa, Ben! A big slide through a score. He holds onto it. An absolute peach. Mike's just came out the pits. He's 5 laps down. He's 2 laps down on Rasmussen and Vienna.
Mike cutting the chicane to get out of the way of Echo by the look of things. Yeah. And there goes Echo.
And O'Reilly.
More debris pushed on the track. But I might not have been there on Mike's screen, because sometimes the debris is in different places on people's different screens. Like the tyre stack at Donington.
Mike will be livid though.
He will be gutted. Absolute gutted.
He's not going to be a happy chap, but here comes Blackmore. Still on the back of Wittrup. Ben's just lost a little pace recently. Not stuck with Wittrup as much, and is well, he's still thereabouts with Ben.
Yeah. Better on the brakes, the Aston seems to be.
Oh, Blackmore, bit of a wiggle. Exit of the second chicane. Ben now gets up alongside as they come towards the first Lesmo. Ben's nose is just there. Later on the brakes again, gets it stopped and turned in. Great bit of racing. Blackmore has another slide. Pit window now opens. And still Ben on the inside. Hops over the curb a little bit. That's lost the traction out the corner and Blackmore holds position.
Oh, that was good. A little bit side by side for the Lesmos.
Really good. Right, pit window open. Is there any early pit runners?
Eckholt is now coming. No. How about O'Reilly? Nope. Dan. Thought about it. No. Giggle. No. Mike's in the pits already. So yeah, Mike's the first person to pit.
How?
Because the pit window's just opened and he was a car between.
He was between Mike and Dan. He was in front of Dan, so Mike straight in.
Yeah.
McGowan also in.
As is Vienna.
As is Pedro Vienna then. Ben going side by side now with Blackmore. Mike's done. And Ben looking up the inside into turn one. Get it stopped this time, Ben. No! No!
More than bollards are gone.
And he is going to have to yield that place.
Yep.
And he does. Oh, Ben, that's 3 times then tonight. In this second race, and he's done that at turn one.
Gary's stop is done.
Yeah, in for the early stop. Tim Venting's trying to gain on Skunky, but Skunky's obviously carrying a bit of front end damage now, isn't he?
Yeah, because he lost it all by himself, like on the marbles. Cowden's away. Rasmussen's done his stop.
Just put a snowplow on him. Well, we're watching this Tim Venting Skunky fight at the moment. The two blue Ferraris. Oh, who's that? So that's Matt Wright, who's had a moment. Was 5 seconds up the road from these pair, and he's had an offer to score. It doesn't look like there's damage on the front of that car.
So where's Tim come from?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, the couple of the front, no, not actually any of the front runners have pitted. Bar McGowan. So he's quietly gone about his business, hasn't he?
Yeah, Tim's quietly gone about just.
I think Tim's pitting.
There, hasn't he?
Yeah, Tim's coming in.
Just sort of like sneakily heading up the field, isn't he?
He has indeed. Here comes Ben and Blackmore. Ben's in because he's dropped off the back of Blackmore. Yeah, Ben into the pits.
There goes Paolo. Helicopter cam, it doesn't change your app, the helicopter cam, so that's the key to everything. Tim's stop is done.
Yeah, good stop. Is he going to come out ahead of Harris, though? I don't think he is. In fact, will he get out ahead of McGowan then? So that's the key battle. McGowan was a front runner in this race. Tim Ventic not yet off the limiter, and here comes McGowan. He's off the limiter now, but McGowan will have him. There they go. And McGowan is through quite comfortably. But McGowan, who was up there, that's pretty good for Tim. He's pretty close to the back of McGowan.
He is. Oh, that's the put a snowplow on him. Maybe if we had a race in the snow. Oh wait, we can't do it on this.
So Ben's stop is done, and Gary Leach, no, he's not going to jump him. Ben is way further down the road, so Gary will not catch him. Max Mulder still not pitted yet either. But it is Eckholt, your race leader from Kieran O'Reilly. 5 seconds of gap as Eckholt comes into the pit lane. Then Kieran O'Reilly running in a quiet P2. He's going to stay out. Dan Davis has worked his way back up to third place after leading this race in the early stages of it. Matthias Giggle is the man who's on a charge at the moment. He can't catch Dan so far, but he's up into P4. Skunky's P5. He's got a bit of damage to that car. Yeah, the bonnet's lifted and everything. I'm surprised Skunky's not come in. He stays out again, as Matt Wright is going to come in. Wittrup's running in P7. He's dropped Blackmore. An absolute kipper. Blackmore's going to come in then. And Paolo is as well. So does Darren Yo. It's all now down to Michael Harris.
I was just watching Eccles stop. He put a bit of fuel in there by the look of things.
Oh, well, we'll have to keep our eyes on that.
It
Eccles
wasn't the
out.
It wasn't the 30 seconds, so yeah, but it was definitely fuel probably going in there.
Tim Venting was racing that of Matt Wright, wasn't he, before the pit stops? Matt Wright isn't yet off the limiter, and through goes Tim Venting.
Yeah, so very quietly getting up there by Venting.
He is indeed. Max Mulder yet to pit. He's very wide there. So all that good work Max had done in race 1 has just kind of fell away here in race 2.
Yeah, but was he caught up with someone not holding their brakes? Because he was quite close to Mike, wasn't he?
Let's wait and see. Harris is on the back now of Michael Eckholt. So Eckholt's just going to want to get on with this. He's not going to want to fight this too hard, because the more that Harris stays with him and fights him, the worse that's going to be for Eckholt in terms of
speed, track limits.
Oh no, Ben!
That'd be cutting the first chicane.
Yeah, the first chicane. Yeah.
O'Reilly's in.
So Ben's night goes from bad to worse. O'Reilly now reacts to that of Michael Eckholt. Dan Davis has stayed out, as is Giggle at the moment. He must be having a right laugh. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Thank you.
You're here all night.
Yeah, I'm
mate.
here all night. Here all night.
O'Reilly stops done. That was just 1 litre.
Skunky's come into the pits as well. Max Mulder is in the box.
Where's Eckholt? Eckholt's now coming
just
around
entered Parabolica now.
And O'Reilly's off his limiter now.
Oh, this will be tight. Eckholt's got fastest lap. But this is going to be tight. Has the pit stop for Eckholt just cost him a little bit? Where is O'Reilly?
O'Reilly's
he's well in front.
In front of the Mike Matthews, who's had a night to forget, so another contender for his drop score.
O'Reilly is well in front, and he's done well there.
Does Dan now cover off and try again some time? Giggle's not really caught Dan.
No, I don't think Giggles had the pace of Dan. I think where he was catching Dan was when Dan was stuck in the traffic of Matt Wright behind. But Eckholt's problem at the moment is that of Harris, who's not leaving him alone behind, is he, at the moment? We're just over halfway through this race. The vote went the way of Dan Davis to win it. Tyres squealing. Just behind that of O'Reilly, of Eckholt and Harris, not sure who.
Not McGowan.
No, I've not seen the yellow flag, so just must have been a few tyres locking up there. Dan Davis in the pits.
As is Giggle.
Right then, O'Reilly. What you got? You've just exited Ascara. You keep your eyes on when Dan Davis is off his limiter. There's O'Reilly now.
Not stopped yet.
Halfway down the back straight. Turns into the Parabolica now. O'Reilly's going to be through here, isn't he? Exits the Parabolica. Now, Giggle's done his stop.
Giggle has done his stop. Dan's now just done his stop. And Giggle's in front of him.
So Giggle's jumped him in the pits. O'Reilly through. Eckholt through. McGowan is nowhere near. Harris has done his pit stop. Harris is in for his pit stop, and Giggle has jumped Dan Davis.
There's Tim Venting. Tim's jumped him.
Sam Greaves in the chat predicted that within 2 seasons, No Luck Racing could have 20 drivers. Who would be them 20 drivers, Sam?
Probably Fat Bloke. after last night.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh.
I'll have to watch back because apparently I had a bit of an unlucky night.
Yeah, so I think O'Reilly's pulled a blinder.
Yeah. Did Dan repair damage? Did he have any damage that he's repaired?
Possibly, but he's... So McGowan's got in front of Giggle, I think. But let it all filter through.
No, McGowan is behind. McGowan is P5. He's battling with Tim Ventic for 6th. That behind is Max Mulder.
That must be Max then.
That's Max Mulder who's a lap down. So just watching the McGowan Tim Ventic fight, they've only just left the second Lesmo. Down the order as well, we've got Jamal fighting with Skunky. Gary, by the way, after all the pit stops, P11. So
yeah,
him and Darren Yo pitted early and they're up the order. So good stops for them too.
Yeah. Half tidy stops.
Yeah. Vienna and Rasmussen are on the same lap as Max Mulder now. So, you know.
Never give up.
And never give up, indeed. Giggle. Oh, little twitchy through the parabolic. He's got Max Mulder just behind him. And Dan Davis is some 1.8 seconds behind.
O'Reilly's stretched for lead.
He has. He has. And Eckel hasn't got the pressure of Harris anymore.
No, he hasn't, because Harris pitting, which puts him in P12. But what a race up Monza.
Yeah, it's been a good week. We head to Snetterton next week. The halfway stages of the championships then. You can join 2 guest commentators in the box on Tuesday evening. Myself and Dan will be back on Wednesday for the Pro-Am. And myself and Phil will be back on Thursday night for the pros.
Touch wood, nothing real life happens.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that comes first at the end of the day. Me, trying to find the closest gap. I think it's Skunky and the back of Clouden.
It was Skunky Clouden, but Clouden's just pulled away a little bit over the line into the first sort of corners. He's gapped a little bit more. It's kind of just quietened down a little bit, Phil, hasn't it?
Yeah, right. As it's quieted down, I'm going to take the opportunity to have a swig of drink. As he says over the fridge here, sitting next to him. True man cave.
Don't forget, if you also like what you see here, hit that thumbs up button and the bell to be notified when we go live. And if you want to check out any of our fantastic sponsors, Audio Sport Orders, Design Manchester, the links are down in the description below. So we've got 22 minutes left here in this race at Monza. And what a race it's been. What a week it's been.
Clap to believe.
Yeah, he's pulling it out there, isn't he? He's pulling it out. But what a week at Monza. We've been saying this in recent weeks about all the races we've seen. We've seen great races all week. And we're saying it again this week.
Yeah. Might be a different story if we get some of that wet stuff start falling. But we'll find out because... Well, Spain's having a lot of flash flooding at the moment, apparently, according to their weather. Especially around Valencia, which is in 2 weeks' time.
Valencia's had it really bad at the moment. Valencia have had it awful. Which up to Ventic now under 9/10. Skunky's 9/10 behind. Clouden, that stayed as it was. Is Giggle brought the gap down to Eckel?
I don't know. I think Dan is closing in a little bit on Giggle as well. I'll just watch the gap. They're coming up to another sector now, so we'll see in a minute. Because it's under the banking.
Mike is asking for the fastest lap of the race. Ben is back in the pits. Massive by Ben. So what has happened to Ben? Chris, tell us more. Phil's going to look into the fastest lap now.
The fastest lap is only a 48.0.
A 48.0.
And that was set on lap 3.
I reckon Mike Matthews, he's got nothing to lose. He's probably going to, when he's low on fuel, fresh set of boots. Because the difference is, the pointish given to wherever you finish. So, you know...
Well, 6 races left of the F1 where it's given to whoever's in the top 10.
So it's a 48-0, Mike. 5 penalty points on his licence, texting while driving. 302's at a moment. That's a yellow flag. That is Skunky. It's a Skunky who got within a tenth of Cloud, and it looks like he's had a yellow flag at Ascari. Ben just lost it. Span on his own in the wall very hard. Snetterton weather currently predicted as dry for next week.
You've never been in Norfolk. It could change very quickly. Especially there, it has its own microclimate. I should know, I live near it. One minute you think, oh, it's t-shirt and short weather. Next minute, the rain is coming up at you from underneath. Yeah, that's it. Dan nearly within a second of Giggle.
Yeah, Giggles brought the gap down to 3.2. Watching Wittrup here, but not really doing a lot at the moment is Wittrup. Edward Blackmore, he's had a good night.
Yeah, he's had a good night, but I think I've got an idea who's driver of the day, don't you?
I've got mine already.
So, Skunky your night to forget. Paolo, very quiet night for Paolo.
Yeah, but points not necessarily in this second race. Clouden, mixed night. Max Mulder, mixed night. Dan,
mixed night,
mixed
really?
Night, yeah. Eckholt, good night. O'Reilly, good night. You know, he was 4th or 5th, wasn't he, in race 1? It's a good night for him. Giggle, terrific night.
Oh, that's was some clipped the curb on the coming out of Ascari, and he was all sorts of sideways nearly.
He's all sorts of sideways. Giggles all sorts of looking in his rear view mirror because he's got a charging Lexus.
Yes, and he's the reigning pro champion for the last 3 seasons on the bounce. For Dan, in different cars.
No.
Oh,
2 seasons on the bounce. I'll take a look and I'll tell you now. Actually, hang on 2 seconds.
Oh, because of Pro-Am before that, when he raced Pro-Am, so we had commentators for Pro runs up.
Season 4 Pro, because this is only Season 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, this is Season 6, sorry. So Season 4 and Season 5 ACC, yeah. Season 3 was... Yes, this is only our 3rd season of ACC PS5 stuff. So the Pro winner was... I believe Ripper.
Was Ripper, wasn't it?
In Season 4, because we've carried this on from Season 1 of ACC on PS4 into PS5. So this is Season 6. Dan Davis on the back of Giggle now. That is within 0.2 of a second. Wittrup's within half a second of Tim Ventick. We're down into the last 17.5 minutes. So now going to start to see these battles ebb and flow. I think Mike's strategy is possibly come into the pits and get a fresh set of boots on and go for a fast lap.
Yeah, because he's, 2 laps behind everybody else or more, isn't he? And get that extra point.
Dan pulls out now, looking up the inside into turn 1. Dan gets alongside, gets it in front, goes a little deep. Has to cut across and Giggle will get back in front. So Dan, Dale $8 short there.
Meanwhile, if they're battling, Eckholt's going to get away from them now.
Yeah, that's the possibility.
3 seconds.
Well, it was 3.2 last lap, so they actually gained 0.2 on him. But now it'll be at this sector. Tim defending from Wittrup at the minute into turn 1 and 2. It's back up to 3.3 look after sector 1. So just through the fight there of Giggle and Dan. I mean, it just shows how strong that Lexus is in a straight line.
Yeah, well, these Snetton's got 2 quite long straights with Senna straight and the Bentley straight. Or I remember it as the Levitt straight.
I don't think they're massive as long as the start straight here, though.
No. Barcelona's as long as here as well.
Valencia is.
Barcelona.
Valencia is as well. Start straight there. That's a good long straight.
Where else?
Kota.
Kota has quite long
It's got the
straights.
back straight that's the longest. Suzuka out of Spoon to the chicane because of 130R.
Yeah.
And then Alton Park and Donny don't really have the straights,
Anything.
do they? Because Donny's got a couple of straights, but they're not long enough, really.
I miss the Dunlop Bridge at Donny. I really do. Like all the older photos, like even when Senna took that wet race win back in '93, you know, when F1 didn't red flag a race because of precipitation. I remember that day.
Here goes Dan. Pulls to the outside line now, coming down towards turn one. He's going to try again. He's got to get that braking absolutely spot on. Giggle tries to as well. Gets it turned in. Giggle this time has to cut the chicane. And Dan gives him a flash to the lights.
And Giggle.
I think Giggle slowed down. Yeah, there he goes, yielding the place. Be interesting to note if Dan was ahead at the apex, but Giggle yields the place and Dan goes through. So Giggle's got that work to do again now. Still a good drive from Giggle today, though.
It's a very good drive by Giggle. Quiet night for McGowan.
Yeah, pretty chill for him. Pretty chill for McGowan. Let's go back to that Wittrup Tim Venting fight. That doesn't look a bit more. That looks a bit bigger than 4/10 of a second.
Tim's now in front, isn't he?
Tim was always in front. Wittrup's chasing him down. But that's now 7/10. So Wittrup trying to get on the back of Tim once again and maybe have another look or two. And what's Dan got? Dan's got 3.7 to Eckholt with 14 minutes left. That's more than doable.
That's definitely doable. I think O'Reilly now is out of the question.
Well, that's what? That's 12
seconds.
It's 12 seconds because you plus the tenths on as well. That's 12, 13 seconds. That's a second a minute, and it's nearly a 2 minute a lap. So Dan's got to take chunks out that time, and I just don't think he's got that in him at this stage of the race. Old tyres on the car. Yeah, I don't think he's got it in him.
Track
Tim
limits for
Venting.
Tim Venting.
Yeah, he's just gone wide out of Ascari. Over the curb, he's got the track limits. So Tim Venting there, he's got to pay the piper. And Gary Leach coming under pressure from Michael Harris now as well.
I don't think I saw any track limit penalties for both Pro-Am and GT4.
Or maybe speeding in the pit lane in Pro-Am.
Speed in the pit lane, yeah, we saw, but
I don't think there was, no. Well, he's got 2 laps to do so. That kind of ruins a good race for Tim Venting. A quiet and good race for him.
Yeah, because he's got to lose, 30 seconds drive through the pits?
31 seconds for the drive-through, so yeah. You know. Here comes Harris on the Porsche. Looks to the inside already. This must be giving Gary flashbacks to that Ginetta and Mercedes on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Not very good flashbacks either.
It was like he's standing still, that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Clouden missing a chicane.
He's struggled this race too.
Yeah. Don't know what he's changed on the car, but it might not have worked. Sometimes, I'm a firm believer in just keeping it on default setup. Some days. Oh, Harris clipped the curb, and Gary gets a breather. So, the lead now is 9.6 seconds, and Dan is within 3 seconds of Eckholt.
Yeah, that's still 13 seconds that Dan's got to gain on O'Reilly, which I just can't see.
No. Does Tim Summer for his drive through this? He got saw it flash up 2 laps. When he went across
so he's
the
got
line,
this lap and the next one. Driver of the day poll's gone up. Get your vote in for the driver of the day. What a race it's been. Oh, Gary had a moment out of a score. He manages to hold on to that, but that'll get Harris a little bit closer and a little bit more excited. Pedro Vienna's gaining on Max Mulder down the order in 17th and 18th. Rasmussen is still on the same lap as them. Is he able to close that gap? He's 8.5 behind. Mike is just 2 laps behind these. Yeah, Tim's in the pits for his drive-through. So that'll promote Darren Yeo. That'll promote Gary Leach. That'll promote Michael Harris. It'll promote Jamal Clouden. It won't promote Skunky. Skunky's too far back. Harris having a look then on Gary Leach, but can't do anything there.
Tim's drive-through cleared, and Skunky did get him.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yep, Skunky did get him.
He did. Where's Paolo? Not a million miles away. So Tim Venting down to 14th place from 7th. That's a huge loss.
2.4 gap
puts
between
Darren
Dan
Yeo
and...
into 9th and Gary into 10th place. If Gary can hold on here from Harris, that's not a bad comeback for Team SPR, considering they were struggling at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, just shows, just keep your head down, keep pushing.
Whoa, Gary and Harris sliding through the first Lesmo there. Managed to keep it all together. They're still twitching along.
Here we go, straight line speed of Alexis again.
Mike's
Gary's...
in the pits. Mike's in the pits.
Mike's in the pits.
So this must be for that fastest lap. Harris going up the inside towards Ascari. Gary hangs it around the outside. Gary turns in on him a little bit there.
Contact.
Harris keeps it out the wall, but Gary looked like he turned in on him a little bit, PM.
Yeah, I was on helicopter cam, so that's what it looked like from my POV, but... Yeah, no, the lead to O'Reilly is 10 seconds to Eckholt.
Yeah, where is Eckholt? Coming round to the first sector now. There's Dan Davis in the background. There's Giggle as well. Giggle not a million miles away from Eckholt here.
No.
So that... Dan's about 12 seconds behind O'Reilly. But then he's got to pass Eckholt, which is going to allow O'Reilly to pull further in front. Yeah. Giggle on for another shot to catch Eckholt here and get another podium.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Wright is catching McGowan. Slowly,
yeah, he is.
but surely.
Yeah, he is. Giggle's Ferraris look the best of the Ferraris.
It has looked the best of the Ferraris, haven't it? So... be interesting to see.
9.6 O'Reilly to Eckholt. So Eckholt's actually gained a bit of time over O'Reilly in the middle sector. Prefer mixed rather than all wet, says Rob Smith. Yeah, I don't mind a good mixed race.
Oh, that endurance race we did at
Silverstone. Brilliant.
Where it was mixed.
Brilliant. We've actually got the endurance race coming up in 16 days at Bathurst. Final one of the season.
Up needs to go up.
Yep, the event page needs to go on. I'll get Mike to sort that. Vienna still on the back of Max Mulder. Pretty tight this. Oh, Max big wiggle through Ascari. Who's just behind them? I think Rasmussen's not a million miles away, is he? No, that is also Wittrup. Here comes Vienna. No, not close enough to Max this time around.
But he's keeping with him as he put the power down that power bollocker.
Yeah, he is.
He's definitely getting a good bit of slipstream there from the Ferrari. As he sits behind, when does he pull out? He pulls out now. Max just jinxed it.
Oh, no.
No. You just saw what I saw.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And they're both sitting there.
I think they're waiting for the traffic. Yeah, I think they're waiting for. I think Vienna's waiting for Max here. Max is letting the traffic go. I'm not sure. But either way, Rasmussen's got ahead. Through he goes.
Yeah, there goes Yo.
I don't know if these two are just allowing the traffic to go here.
No, but tell you what, now we need to keep an eye on.
Rain's pretty good, Lando. Rain's pretty good, Lando. Really is. We do need to keep an eye on the number 11. I'm not sure what's going on here. These two are still just stationary. Now Max Mulder decides to go. And Vienna follows him. Well. Yeah. Matt Wright's under a second. I think you saw the same as me, Phil, there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both saw the same thing. A jink to the right and a jink to the left.
Yep, which is moving under the braking zone, which is a big no-no.
Moving under the braking zone, and it's two manoeuvres, isn't it? It's two manoeuvres regardless. You know, he goes back to the racing line and then covers late. Vienna's committed, and if he doesn't jink back left, Vienna doesn't hit him. Simple as that, really. Michael Harris back within half a second of Gary Leach. They're coming through Ascari now. Race leader is 10 seconds clear. Dan's within 1.7. Giggle 1.8 to Dan, so Giggle's coming with him. in terms of catching Eckel.
Giggles Ferrari definitely is the best one here tonight.
Yeah, it has been. Massively so. Gary Leach. Rounds Parabolica. Harris. Oh, bit of a wiggle.
But it's just not happy under power, is it?
It's not happy under power. I don't think it's going to hurt him. I think he's still going to get clear of Gary Leach. Cloudon's only 2.6 in the background. Here goes Harris up the inside of Gary Leach. Not got it done though. Gary's got it done under the braking. There's tips in the chat. Mizano on slicks and it rained in GT4s was brilliant. That was fantastic. Mizano was pretty fun.
That endurance race where it was wet, dry and everything, and it's just like, you know what, just keep that on the
Silverstone was brilliant. Silverstone was brilliant. It was really good.
I was slow anyway.
I'd kind of like Bathurst to be mixed weather as well.
Yeah, I do, because it looks like it's probably going to be 4 hours. Hopefully G4 doesn't on a Saturday night as well.
Well, it is going to be 4 hours, and it is going to be at the same start time, so... because it was the option of either move it forward or shorten the race. So it is going to still be the same start time as what Bathurst was, but it will just be 4 hours. We'll get the event page out for that. Shame Seb waited there. Yeah, yeah. That wasn't Sebastian Witchell. That was Vienna that was waiting behind Max Mulder, if that's what you mean, Sam. Matt Wright within 7/10 of a second now. Dan's actually lost a couple of tenths to Ecole on that last sector.
Yeah, and right, let's keep an eye on the 11. Where is Mike on the track? He's at the second Lesmo.
Well, you can actually check what lap times he's been doing at the moment. Michael Harris still on the back of Gary. Tim Ventink gaining on the back of... No, he's not. No, he's not. He's in the wall hard. Bounced over the curb at Ascari. And that is in the wall hard. He rejoins, but that's going to be a lost out to Paolo. And then Ben is probably going to... no, I'm not sure. Max Mulder and Vienna go at it once again, then down the back straight. There's Tim Ventink, who's struggling to turn. Tim could be bringing that one into the pit lane.
Right. Mike got close. He did already with 48.2. But the two are his pit
Tim
stop
pits.
times. So
Tim pits. So Tim's pitted with his huge damage there. And here comes Vienna. He's not in Max Mulder's slipstream now. And now he thinks about getting into it. Pulls to the left. Max stays to one lane this time. And they all get through as well. Dan's lining up a move apparently on Michael Eckholtz. Let's go to that one. Sam Greaves, I assume, is FBR the Saint. I'm assuming.
Don't you have another one where he calls himself Fat Bloke as well?
Oh, I thought that. Here comes Dan Davison with that sixth gear. Let's look back from that of Michael Eckholt. Let's see that Lexus gain on him. It's coming. It's not close enough. Dan's got what, 2 laps?
2 laps, yeah. Mike that lap did a 48.5.
It is FBR the same. There we go. Max Mulder still got Pedro Viana on the back of him. Here goes Pedro Viana looking to the outside of Ascari. Max gives him the room on the outside. Max tries to brake as late as he dares. Gets it stopped. That's good late braking there. What's happened to Harris? He's had another moment. He's dropped behind Skunky. 2 phones, 2 names. There we go then.
Just signed in on the same account.
So Pedro's looking at it here. Dan's still on the back of Eckel. 1:43 left. There's 1 lap to go. Has Mike got enough in the tank to take that fastest lap away from him? I don't think he has, you know.
No, because the car will have a lot of fuel still in it, won't it, as well? Because the game crashing on him and bringing them back in.
But it depends if he loaded his setup and just took some fuel out.
True.
You know. So, we'll see. Vienna and Max still going at it. We'll come back to Dan Davis in a second. Vienna and Max still going hammer and tong. Leader starts the final lap of the race. Oh, Dan has a bit of a wiggle. Coming out the corner. Now on the rear wing of Echo. Dan is closer, but is he close enough? Down the start-finish straight he comes, flashing Michael Eckholt as he goes. And he just gets bigger and bigger in that rear wing, but it's not going to be enough. And look how close Dan gets. You can nearly see the Swiss flag poking underneath the rear wing. Got a little greedy on the inside curb of turn 2. That seemed to unsettle the car as it landed, you see.
They definitely dropped Giggle. He's now 3.5 behind this.
Yeah, these two have checked out at the moment. You're going to drop that down to Max Mulder and Pedro Viana, who are side by side once again coming into Ascari. Max again, though, holds that line and able to get through the corner better. Viana's got a great exit here. Viana's got a lovely exit here on Max Mulder. Oh, no, 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 no. You cannot weave down the straight. And Viana gives him a flash. That was appalling. Dan still nowhere near the back then.
No.
Of that and Michael Eckholt.
I was keeping an eye on the Eckholt and Dan fight. He's got one more corner to try, but I don't think there's going to be enough. I think
Max
Dan's
is still weaving on the straight on Pedro Viana. This is unbelievable. And now he's missed the first chicane.
Right, O'Reilly's done round Parabolica.
Here comes Kieran O'Reilly, though. It's going to be the fight. Another race win for him. Great drive. Michael Eckholt, is he going to hang on in there for another second place, another podium? He is indeed, and he may have just hung on there for the fastest lap. Dan will take third place. Giggle, what a drive for P4. Really good night, a third and a fourth for him. Here comes McGowan into Parabolica now.
Okay. Oh, McGowan was a long way back.
There he was. McGowan P5, Matt Wright P6, Sebastian Wittrup P7.
Not a bad result for Wittrup, considering he started right at the back.
Yeah, good result. Pretty good result. So, like you said, he came from the pit lane, so really good stuff that for him. P7 for Sebastian Wittrup. Blackmore with a P8. Good result for Blackmore. He's had a cracking night. Tell you what, Darren Yo can be pleased with that second race. P9. That is a great second race for him. Out the bag, really, there. Gary Leach does hang on over that of Jamal Clouden in the end for that P10. So Clouden will take P11 as we await now that of Skunky, who down in 12th. Not a real night for Skunky tonight. Harris P13, again another one who just didn't have a great night tonight. Paolo P14, quietly under the radar, scoring points as always.
If Tim didn't have that drive-through, though.
Well, yeah, but
really
he also had the bad damage here. Max has just finished ahead of Pedro Viana, but I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing that one. Mike got fastest lap. Mike's taken fastest lap at the very, very end. Mike Matthews, Viana comes and finishes P19. Tim Venting was P15.
Let me just see what Mike's fastest lap was
Ben
before
P16.
the shows.
And that is it.
He did a 48.0 as well.
And now we see, and we apologise for what we're seeing on screen here, but Max and Tim are just cutting chicanes and now keep crashing. So we're gonna come off them.
Whoa, that's a fastest lap by Mike at the end. As he just said, have it. That's an extra point, though.
Yeah, extra point for him. Great night for it. Can you try and get that of Giggle and Rasmussen and Dan and Eckholt in this party?
Should we do Discord? Because O'Reilly won.
Oh, we should, yeah. I know O'Reilly didn't join us last time.
We'll do Discord anyway, because
okay, yep.
I'm now going to try to remember how to do everything.
Green light. Go, go, go.
SimPlay. Comsbox.